Welcome back to Redacted Media, where we bring you the content as long as you mind your business. Before we get started, go ahead, like, subscribe if you're new. Turn on the bell notifications to be the first ones to watch this video whenever it drops. If you guys got anything to say throughout the episode, drop us a comment. Engagement's a little low. I'd love to talk to you guys. I check the comments as soon as I can. I'm on my phone all the time. I'm a millennial. It happens, right?
Absolutely.
We're going through the Dark Tower series, Stephen King's Dark Tower. We're on the second book and finishing it up, The Drawing of the Three. I am your co-host, Redacted, or Larmer.
And I am your co-host, Jake, or Jake.
Jake. You know, like, it was really cool, and not really cool, but in high school, we went through a phase of, like, our nickname was our name backwards.
Oh, yeah?
And, like, my Call of Duty gamer tag is still Rimraw, because it's Larmer backwards.
I've seen Rimraw, and I immediately, got it, but that's...
Yeah, it was like, I don't want to drop names, but McCracken did it with, and Standiford did Refred Nats and the Carcom. That's what we did with them, yeah. It was
Mine would have been like, Snickwa.
I like Snickwa. All right, so we're on the last, 100 pages or so of The Drawing of the Three, and Eddie's hogtied by the door. He's the honeypot, and we jump back to Roland's point of view. And most of this chapter, almost all of this, I think, happens with Roland.
Yeah, we don't go back to Eddie until near the very end of it. And we just kind of get a little bit there, but most of what we cover today is just Roland's perspective.
Yeah, and it's batshit crazy. I forgot how good it was.
Yeah,
honestly. I forgot.
It did not feel very long at all. I flew through it.
Yeah, it's a page turner. It's a page turner of a section. I want to start with how whenever he jumps into Eddie and Detta, he kind of talks about what it feels like to be inside of them, his caw to like be in their body. And in the second paragraph of here, it said that Mort was a monster, worse than Detta Walker had ever been or ever could be. And I get that he's like this serial killer, maybe. He might have kills.
Yeah.
The serial pusher, whatever you may be. It was strange to see King just like admit this openly, that Roland felt that way. He knew it. In fact, he said that the only way that he could remain in the worm pit, which was this man's mind, was to regard him as no more than a combination atlas and encyclopedia. So Eddie is sweating, shivering walls. Odetta was a pit of snakes. But somehow worms are worse.
Right?
Maybe Roland's a thing against worms. I don't know.
They're icky.
Yeah, yuck. Ooh, they're slimy.
But yeah, so we last saw Roland taking control of Jack, pretending to be sick, and leaving the office.
Yeah.
And Jack just passes out from he's been yelling and screaming and freaking out, kicking at the walls, and eventually he just tires himself out and goes to sleep.
Yeah, so
which Roland is really relieved about, because he's like, I can ignore him, but I didn't want to have to deal with it.
I did like the fact that Roland didn't necessarily need him, because he could sift through his memories and his information.
Yeah.
The Mortsopedia is how I was pronouncing it.
Right, and I was like, man, I really wish it would have just been the Mortopedia. That would have worked.
Why the Supedia, right? Yeah,
right.
The Mortopedia is what it would have flown
that
way better.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe that's just because I'm so used to the Wikipedia with everything ending in, the making fan stuff to work for Ipedia.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if the fan wiki for Dark Tower isn't called the Mortsopedia, somebody messed up.
It's, what is it called? There is a Dark Tower Ipedia out there that has all the weird terms that he uses and definitions and just different links that you can follow. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, there's fan wiki for everything.
Kingopedia? I don't know. I don't fucking know. But
no, I've seen that there is a separate one just for Dark Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember years ago, when I first read it,
mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I know that a lot of Stephen King stuff is tied into Dark Tower. I wonder if this was it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember looking that up, and there was a Stephen King specific wiki and then a Dark Tower specific wiki.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that this is its own encyclopedia. It's going to try to tie facts together, and that's basically all it is links that you can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. I wanted to discuss the way that Roland plans. I love it for his character, and I identify with it as a person.
The way that he plans is that he doesn't.
I love that. I'm going to read it verbatim just so I can get it out there. It says, when you planned rough, you allowed room for improvisation. And improvisation at short notice had always been one of Roland's strong points. Fucking same. I hate planning minute by minute. Whenever it comes to anything I'm making, whether it be at work, whenever I have to present something, or even with podcasts, I want to have a loose structure that allows me to, on an instant, I think of something cool, I can just do it.
Right.
And it can take as much time as it needs to be. That leaves for, it's a risk reward. I mean, especially with the podcast.
Yeah.
If I don't plan and it's 30 minutes, if like we didn't have a book to kind of tether us, if it was just us talking, it might be really fucking boring. Or we just like, connect on personal things. I've had that struggle with other podcasts with friends where we're talking about our times at college or different inside jokes that it really isn't fun to listen to. It's a bad way to do it, but I love the way that Roland does, and it's identify with it good.
Yeah, I recently did something very similar. Like we have, I'm in public speaking, and he was like, make an outline for your speech. So that way, like you can, memorize all the points you want. I think my outline was like 6 bullet points maximum, and I was just like, make sure you practice it. Make sure you practice it. I went through it like once or twice in my head.
I think that
then I just got in front of the camera and bullshitted, and it ended up being, about 5 minutes, which was the goal.
Yeah, 5 minutes speak. Like I'm not in like public speaking classes. It's so interesting. It's like, oh, you just write down everything you're gonna say. And I'm just reading. I'm not talking.
Right.
Like I think there needs to be something in there that makes room for ers and buts and uhs and and little tangents in the speech that makes any type of speech more interesting. I hate whenever I go to like a conference and they just read a PowerPoint to me and I'll fucking hate you.
Right.
I can read.
It's like that they are. It feels more like they're reciting like a play that they've practiced more than giving a speech.
Yeah, and
it's like I didn't come here to watch a play. I am here to listen to you talk.
A bone to pick. You're a public speaker. And you ask, how are we doing today? And everybody says, oh, that wasn't good enough.
Ooh.
Retire.
Absolutely.
Retire. It's the worst fucking gimmick of any fucking profession out there. Like, who has ever been hype because that wasn't good enough? I'm not going to get excited because you tell me to be excited.
Right.
Like,
oh, boy, I'm sure excited to be here for this motivational speaker.
This motivational speech about a guy that tried to kill himself when he was 17. Like, I'm so happy that you came over that, dude. That's awesome. But you're not going to motivate me in my life. I know nothing about you.
Like, I'm sure you're going to have a great story, and I'll be, like, entertained and be like, oh, wow, that was good. But I'm still going to be the same dude afterwards.
Yeah. It's like getting, like, hyped up to go watch a movie. I'm not going to be like, yeah! Go sit down. Like, that's just, what's the point of that? You're getting my adrenaline going for what? Why do I need to yell? It's 8:15. Your bagel fucking smorgasbord was terrible, all right? Nobody wants an everything bagel at 8 a.m., all right? Let's just get past that. Cream cheese, plain bagel, or nothing. All right. I just picked a hill to die on. I really don't care. All right.
So Roland's going down the elevator, and this dude that Jack works with gets in there with him. And, last time we kind of touched on Roland could tell that Jack's coworkers were scared of him. Mm-hmm. This guy exemplifies that.
Yeah.
He is just talking to fill the silence because Jack isn't talking back. He's running on and rambling, just super nervous. He's like, oh, are you going to get, are you, and Roland just slowly looks over at him and just, shut up. And the guy thinks, oh, Jack's about to snap.
Yeah.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. Jack's going to snap and land himself in a sanitarium.
A sanitarium?
Yeah, which I have not heard that term in a long time.
No. It's just an insane asylum?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a old word for that.
Yeah. What year do you think this is? What year is Jack Mort getting pulled from? Because I have a couple of things I want to mention before we get there. He mentions Balazar. So Balazar is either still alive or there's a different timeline in which Eddie does not kill him.
So I almost have an exact guess.
Oh, shit.
But I might be wrong because I can't remember exactly when something happened. I want to say like around 1974, 75.
Okay.
But it might be even earlier than that because he talks later about the Terminator movie coming out in 9 years. And I'm trying to remember what year that came out.
Yeah. I think I highlighted the word Terminator in here just to talk about it. So, okay. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah.
But I can't remember exactly when. It's, it's definitely but sometime between 1959 and 1980.
Yeah, after he pushed Detta.
Yeah.
Odetta, wait.
Yeah, he pushed
Odetta's the claim one. The calm one, yeah. All right, yeah. Well, the place to do.
And, now, okay, it did. So he gets outside, he gets in a taxi, and accesses the Mortsopedia to kind of learn how to talk to taxi drivers.
Mm-hmm.
The Mortsopedia is racist.
Yes.
Because Jack is racist.
Yes.
Because bad guys in these books are often racist or just general pieces of crap outside of just being a bad guy.
Basically, if you're going to hate somebody, it's going to be either homophobic, racist, sexist, or a pedophile.
Yeah, right.
Like, there's no redeeming factors. Like, a bad guy cannot have a regular home life. There's just no way.
Yeah, absolutely. So he gets in the taxi. Jack tells him a few slurs that this guy could be. Mm-hmm. But Roland is just like, take me, just start driving. I'll tip you extra. As he's scrolling through the Mortsopedia trying to find an address. The guy is like, no, I'm not going to do that without a location because he's already kind of getting bad vibes from this dude. Mm-hmm. And Roland like gives him a 20, I think, or he gives him, gives him a decent sized bill and just says, start driving and I'll pay the rest later. And the guy's like, okay, fuck it, whatever. Yeah. And eventually he comes up with, bring me to a certain intersection.
It was take me to 7th Avenue and 49th Street.
Which, so we don't know it's there yet, but that's where he's headed. And once the taxi driver drops him off, he's so relieved. He's like, this guy scared the hell out of me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get out of here. And as Roland is getting out of the taxi, he sees a police car. He looks in and can just automatically tell that these are, the lawkeepers of the land. He sees them eating donuts and drinking coffee, though, and so he goes, well, they're probably not very good gunslingers, but they're gunslingers. Yeah. So I can respect that. Then he looks up at the store that he's been dropped off at, and it is a gun and sports store. Yep. And I was like, okay, so I was expecting a pharmacy.
Can I go there first? Yeah.
Yeah.
But now let's get some ammo first.
Yeah. Yep. And so we get a little snippet from the cop's point of view as he's walking into the store. Mm-hmm. They make some really tired old, like, oh, this guy looks pretty fruity kind of stuff.
The way that King makes them talk is hilarious. It's not hilarious, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad hilarious. Like,
yeah.
All gay men must have a lisp. And that he's going in there to buy lavender handcuffs because, of course, anybody that is gay has to be also sexually deviant.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, yeah, it's your, just your everyday standard local gun and sex shop.
Yeah,
like,
for sure, yeah.
I want to go get a Colt 45 and a new dildo. Like,
that's the premise that America was built on. All right.
There we go.
You want to get off and shoot off, in whatever way in whatever way that you choose. We got you.
God, I love this country.
Yeah, so we jump in the cops' minds for a bit and make some real homophobic remarks. He walks right in and getting that magazine of ammo.
Yeah, so he asks for like basically just a list of what they sell. Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, well, I have this other thing back here. And he gives him, he pulls it out. It's called the Shooter's Bible, I think. Mm-hmm. And Roland's eyes just light up. He's like, "Oh, that is so cool."
Yeah, pictures. They call them photographs.
Yeah, photographs, because he doesn't, and he gets excited about that. He's like, "Yeah, just let me look through here. I'll know what I'm trying to buy."
Mm-hmm.
And he looks through, tries to find some bullets that he thinks will match his guns, because they probably won't be exact fits, but they'll be close enough. Mm-hmm. And he sees 45 ammo, and he's like, this one. Can I have this one, please? And he comes up with a story about how, I don't know what my brother had a gun and I was shooting it, and I don't know what kind of ammo it took, but I'd recognize it if I saw it.
Yeah.
Because the guy's like, why are you just tell me what you want, weirdo?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of gun do you have?
Yeah, what kind of gun do you have? Why are you trying to look at pictures?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
And he asks to buy a case, and he's like, okay, there's 50 bullets in a box. And Roland's eyes light up. He's like a kid at a candy store.
Yeah. And
he asks how much it is. I don't remember exactly, but he has enough to buy 3 cases of it.
It was like $17 or $18.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
And so he has enough to get 150 bullets.
Yeah.
And he's like, in his head, I don't think he says this out loud, but he goes, "Ye gods, what a mad storehouse of riches this world has."
About 150 brand new shells to just launch. It's awesome.
And the dude is just very suspicious of Roland the whole time, because this dude's being weird. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't come into a gun store and act like this normally. No. Normally, gun people know what they want. They're not there to browse unless they're looking to pick up a new gun, but they're not browsing at bullets.
In the same way that I walk into an auto shop or an O'Reilly's or an AutoZone, and I don't know what the fuck is going on, the same way I feel about guns.
Yeah.
Be like, I don't want to tell you what I have, because I'm probably wrong. Oh, V6 or 4-cylinder?
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't. Maybe I don't.
I take my car to Walmart for oil changes, and they used to ask me that every time.
Yeah.
Now I think they just save it in their system.
Yeah.
But every time I'll be like, I don't know, it's my wife's car.
Yeah,
it's my car, but I'm like, I don't know what she drives.
Oh yeah, I'm just doing this for my grandma. I haven't even checked on the hood yet, guys. Yeah.
Oh, it's not my car. I bring it in here every 3 months, but it's not my car. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm very ignorant to both cars and guns. Something I just have not chosen to partake in. Yeah. There's a 45. There's a 45. You call all 6-shooters Magnums? I don't fucking know.
I'm not sure, but
a Magnum is like a brand. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
We're probably gonna get fucking clowned for being this stupid. If anybody is like really gun enthusiast, but I'm not. I own a gun, but I don't necessarily do anything with it. It's just like, oh, here it is.
That's even more than me.
Yeah. So, I don't know, but we'll move past that because we're just showing our ignorance here.
But I do recognize that a 45 is a big, powerful gun.
Yes, yeah, I've shot a 45, and they're. I mean, I couldn't. So like with a 6-cylinder, that has no way to give. I couldn't imagine shooting a 45 and something that doesn't have a recoil. Like how you can, shoot. You shoot, the gun will give a little bit because it's supposed to push the thing up top back. To reload. That's what semi-automatics do. But the Magnum has no moving parts. It's just the cylinder that moves and the hammer that shoots the motherfucker. So I could imagine, kicking way back. Probably really tough.
But so the guy, he's thinking this dude is real suspicious. He doesn't. There's no way this guy has a permit. So I don't even have to worry about it. I won't sell him anything because I legally can't.
Yeah.
And so he asks and makes Roland pull out his wallet. And yep, nope, no permit. And so he's just, sorry, bud, can't sell it to you.
Yeah.
So Roland's like, okay, I need a plan.
Yeah.
Improvise. And so he goes, well, what about that cleaning kit? I can get that for him as a gift. Can I look at it? And the guy turns, he grabs the cleaning kit. And he's like, yeah, great thing about this is you don't need a permit. Absolutely, you can look at it. And while he's turned, Roland snatches his wallet out of his pocket and throws it under the cabinet.
What kind of a cabinet are you picturing?
I was kind of thinking, one of those glass display cabinets those are normally flush with the ground, but I guess this one is on little risers or something, maybe.
Maybe it's the back is not, so it's it's flush with the ground on the front side, so you can't see their feet.
Yeah.
But there's room underneath, so maybe he and threw it underneath. I don't know.
Because he dropped it at his own feet and kicked it under.
You're right. I don't fucking know that. I'm not picturing like I don't know. The King lost me here. It took me out. I was like, what is this?
I didn't think about it too much, but you're right. You're absolutely right, because normally they would be flush with the ground.
Whatever. Probably a stupid thing to worry about.
And so he kicks his wallet underneath there, and he looks at the cleaning kit, and he's like, even I can tell that I've never seen this world's cleaning kits. This one's garbage.
Yeah.
So he goes, I'll think about it and I'll come back. I'll thank you for letting me look at it, but I'll pass for now.
Yeah.
And the guy is just relieved. He's like, this weirdo thing, get out of here.
Fuck out of here.
And Roland immediately goes to the cops.
Yeah.
And he tells them, hey, I just had a really weird interaction with that guy in there.
Mm-hmm.
He took my wallet. He threw a gun in my face and took my wallet from me.
Yeah.
He saw all the cash I had in there, and he wanted it for himself.
Yep. He tells them about the wallet, and the cops don't really care. Like, oh, wallet bust, whatever. You go in there and your money's probably long gone. But then you tell them about the spring-loaded gun underneath.
Yeah.
And that gets them all hot and bothered.
Yep, they're very excited for that. Yeah. They say something about like they've been trying to catch this guy for something for a while now, and now they finally have a reason to go harass him.
Yeah.
They finally have cause.
Yeah.
And they ask him some more details about the wallet, kind of just to be like, okay, well, now that we are going in there, let's pretend like we care. What's your name? What's your address? We can confirm it. Do you have any pictures in there? And Jack has a picture of his mommy.
That's I don't know if that's a King trope or just what I've read lately, but you love your mom, you're a bad guy too. So.
Oh yeah. I was just like,
you got a good relationship with your mom, bad guy.
I was just like, oh, he's trying to make him a little bit redeemable for us.
I felt like it was like a Bates Motel type of thing, where it was like, oh, he's too close.
Okay.
I read it like that because, like, of course, love your parents. If you have a good relation with your mom, that's fucking awesome. I hope everybody does. Like, in your wallet, maybe different times.
Right.
But I don't need to look at pictures of my mom.
I could see.
She's still alive.
Yeah.
Maybe she's passed away. That's a different thing,
Yeah. It didn't sound like it from the way he was describing it, but oh no.
I'm just. Yeah. I felt like I was talking real bad there for a second. Let me just get all the bad juju out of the world.
He didn't sound. I don't know. It didn't seem that way, but maybe that's just because it's Roland talking through his body. Mm-hmm. But I could see like if you were the kind of person who had lots of pictures of your family.
Yeah.
But this is the only picture he describes.
Yeah. Well, does it like Mort isn't married, have any kids? I don't believe.
Yeah.
At least not that we know of. So maybe Mort isn't that fucking old. I mean, the timeline's all weird. He had Odetta was 9, and he was probably a grown adult by then. Odetta was now like I think 28, 29. I think.
Yeah.
Whenever she gets pulled, so.
He could have been like in his early 20s and then in his early 40s when he pushed her, and now maybe he's in his
again
late
maybe
50s, early
this
60s.
Just reflecting me on my relationship with my family. I should have pictures of my family. I don't fucking know.
I don't.
Maybe I'm outing myself.
I've had wallets with like the picture thing in them, and I've never put anything in there. I usually just tear those out or use them for extra
I think
cards.
if you have kids, it all becomes a lot easier.
Yeah.
I can't wait to if I do have kids because I can do all the corny shit. Because I don't have no reason not to. I can watch cartoons and shit. You know how many family movies I haven't seen? Because like, why would I go and watch How to Train Your Dragon? Why would I watch that?
Because it's a good movie.
I need to, but also when I have kids, it's all gonna be new for me too. So it's gonna be like a cool little, you know what I'm
saying? Like, I watched that Encanto movie when it came out a few weeks ago or maybe a couple months ago. I don't remember when it was. Time's fake.
time doesn't exist.
But I watched it once. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And now I see people on Facebook who have kids being like, "Yeah, we don't talk about fucking Bruno anymore because I've had to listen to We Don't Talk About Bruno 10 times a day."
Oh, because that where that song came from? I've only heard it from TikTok. So.
Yeah. Great movie, but if I was a parent, I'd probably be like, "Can we watch something else, please?"
I did not hear Frozen until I was working as a para.
Oh, yeah?
2 years ago. I never watched anything Frozen those songs are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they've got
They're
some,
really good songs. I'm like, oh my god, this girl can really sing.
yeah.
Like, Let It Go is like, oh my god, you hit that note? That's what you're doing?
it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I really liked that movie. I didn't much care for the snowman. I don't hate him as much as everybody else does.
Yeah.
But I was like, he's fine, whatever. But yeah, something ridiculous about Frozen though. So you know those Kingdom Hearts games?
Yeah.
Where you go to like different Disney worlds and you kind of experience the movie, but like with some original plot into it.
Yeah.
In Kingdom Hearts 3, the most recent one, they had Frozen as a level.
Mm-hmm.
The entire Let It Go song is in there. No other songs in the whole game, but for some reason, you just have a cutscene of Let It Go.
They show the whole song?
Just the whole damn song. And every once in a while, you'll see your character in the background.
Yeah.
But like, for some reason, they just shot for shot recreated it in the Kingdom Hearts 3 engine and had the whole music video for it in there.
It was a very big song.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're laying into. I don't know. They must have just got the license to this. Fuck it. Put it all in.
Right?
Fuck it. We got it. We paid for it. Let's go.
It was truly wild.
That's crazy. All right, back to the book.
Yeah, so the cops are like, okay, we'll go in there, we'll bust Fat Johnny, I think is his name.
I think they're looking for his boss, but they go in there and it's Fat Tony that's there.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, whatever, we'll take the mid-level guy.
Yeah.
That'll be all right.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. That's where they mentioned Balazar, which is Balazar must be a little bit bigger than I thought he might have just been like a coke pusher, not really real big time in the New York mob. He must have been part of a family of mobsters. Not really familiar with that, besides what Scorsese tells me. But
right.
I try.
So they go in there and they're like, "Give us a minute and then follow us in." Mm-hmm. He gives them about 30 seconds. So they're in there arguing with the clerk, and Roland kind of sneaks in, and behind him as they're arguing and not paying attention to him, he flips the sign from open to closed, which I just always love when that happens.
Oh, that's such a gangster move.
Yeah. It's
you're stuck in here with me. It's such a badass thing to do. Like, oh yeah.
Nobody else come in here. I got some business to take care of. Yeah. And he walks up to the counter and he's like, "See, my wallet's right over there." And the whole time the clerk has just been denying it and saying, "No, the guy's lying. He's making up a story. I didn't do that. I would never do that."
Yeah.
And both the cops are like, "Oh, really?" And so they decide to peek over the cabinet together. Yeah. Just like a real cartoon.
Oh yeah.
And Roland takes the moment to boing smash their heads together. And they're just out cold. One of them's like bleeding from his ear.
Oh, he's all right. He's just bleeding from his ear. I'm like, my ear is not supposed to bleed. All right.
Right. And he kind of thinks for a moment how, they're lawkeepers. They're gunslingers. I don't want to kill them. Mm-hmm. I've had to kill gunslingers before. I didn't like it.
Where was that? Because I highlighted that because I wanted to talk about it. Okay.
And he talks about how Elaine fell to Roland and Cuthbert's smoking guns.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We haven't had some real backstory in a little while.
Roland and Cuthbert kill Elaine.
Yeah.
One time, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I am excited to, find out more about this. Yeah. I was very excited. I was very intrigued by Roland's backstory snippets in the first book, and I think really, aside from just mentioning Cuthbert, this is the first we've gotten in Drawing of the Three.
I think so. I think he really had to push through with everybody else's backstory. I mean, we're telling, Odetta's childhood, Eddie and his brother. It's hard to get. Roland's also been feverish this whole book.
Yeah, he's finally awake right now.
Yeah, I'm here.
That's another thing I've liked about this chapter is that he's awake. He's feeling good. He is in his element.
It feels like he's in a relatively athletic body too.
Yeah.
It's maybe not be gunslinger ready. Like he might not be able to do everything that he could in his, perfect body if he's not feverish.
Absolutely.
But like he was not in a disabled person or somebody that has heroin withdrawals. I imagine because Eddie just took a bump before he sat down. So Eddie went into Roland high on heroin.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's
Roland went to Eddie and he was high. He came back and he was high. So it must have been a little. Maybe that was the sweating walls feeling that he had.
That makes sense.
No, I've never taken a bump of heroin, but if it feels like sweating walls, I think I'm gonna avoid it.
And in the confusion, Roland takes the store clerk's gun that he has and tells him, "Give me 4 boxes of ammo." So now he has 200 bullets. And he goes, "Also give me a pair of the wristbands."
Yeah.
And he's like, "We don't sell jewelry here. What are you talking about?"
What are you talking about?
The handcuffs, whatever.
Yeah.
And so he cuffs him, puts him behind the counter, and then in kind of a cool move, he leaves the key, and he's like, "Once the cops wake up, they can let you go." And he puts the gun down because he's going to take he takes the cops' gun belts and both of their guns.
Yeah. And
he thinks about, okay, this way, Odetta and Eddie can have some guns when I get back. He takes their gun belts and like puts them on his hips, kind of crisscrossed, and the clerk turns around and looks at him, and he just is instantly like, "Oh, this is like one of those dudes from the old cowboy movies," is what he looks like. Even though he's in like a business suit right now, he reminds me of an old cowboy movie guy.
Yeah, it's got to be kind of a cool look.
Right.
This is one where I'd really like man, who am I thinking of right now? You seen Kingsman?
The first one, yeah.
Okay, yeah, like the main character in that, age him up like 15 years where he's balding, and then put him in a decent like Mort suit, and then have like cross gun belts.
Yeah,
fucking badass to put on screen.
That would be really
He'd be
cool.
like balding, but like instead of the glasses and everything, I think it'd be fucking really cool. You could do something like that.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking about the wrong character, but yeah, that guy, that would be cool.
I think that'd be really cool. I don't know. It's like if this was going to be on screen, we now have to kind of cheer for this actor that is portraying Roland Mort being controlled by Roland. It'd be really if they did it right, and like that's where if I was going in with like creating this to see Roland in another body, I would need to know who Roland is beforehand. I need that actor to develop a sort of walk, a sort of swagger that a gunslinger would have that you could act as. Like a very talented actor could, change from a character that they're playing like Mort, and then whenever Roland takes over, you could tell somehow with how they hold themselves.
Yeah, I've seen a few shows or movies where that's kind of been the case, where like somebody has taken over someone else's body, and the good actors, they change their body language, they change how they move, how they talk. Like, it's not something you think of in the moment when you're watching it, because you're like, oh yeah, of course, that's whoever. But then you think about it and you're like, wow, they are playing an entirely different character right now. It's not, once you separate it from the fiction, you're like, wow, that's some skill. I've also seen really bad cases of it.
For sure. There's like humorous ones. I do find like in the last Jumanji 2 that came out, there's a girl that I don't remember her name, but she's like you know the premise of the new Jumanjis.
They're video games, right?
They're video games. You jump in and like the characters all become just avatars. Yeah. So and then at one time they switch, and like,
okay.
There's like Jack Black is Kevin Hart, I believe, for a bit, or no, it's the other way around. No, Kevin Hart's there. Whatever it is, Jack Black and Kevin Hart are amazing character actors. They're great. And there's this one girl that's doing Danny DeVito, and it's fucking amazing because he gets
Danny DeVito's in there.
Oh, he's in the second one. He's amazing.
Oh man,
and she's like just doing an impression of Danny DeVito the whole time. It's amazing. She's like this young Asian girl. She's great though. Just all these little Danny DeVito mannerisms. It's so good. It's worth it just to watch her.
Oh man, I need to watch that. I've been wanting to. It's just another thing I haven't gotten around to it.
It took me a while not to until I caught it on TV. Oh, Danny DeVito's in here. Then oh no, Lethal Weapon. What's his name? Riggs. What's his name? Or not Riggs. Oh no, too old for this shit. Murtaugh. Oh no.
Oh no, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name either.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's not Childish Gambino's dad, right? It's not Donald Glover. Or is it Danny Glover? Is it
Danny Glover?
It is Danny Glover. It's Childish Gambino's dad. Okay.
That's his dad?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. So yeah.
I just figured it was like a case of, same last name. That happens all the time in Hollywood.
For sure. But
we got Michael Jordan and Michael B. Jordan.
No relation. I changed my name. If I was actually, I got forget putting the B in there. I'm gonna go Michael Ice or something. What the fuck are we talking about?
We're talking about how if we play this on screen, somebody would have to be really good at
Yes,
acting like
yes.
they were.
That's where and in order for that, we need more than just this book with Roland.
Yeah.
That's where I think that maybe like book 4, which is a whole flashback. The whole book is a flashback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe some of book 1 to book 2, so you could really get to know who Roland is. So an actor, a talented actor playing Roland, could show those ways of walking, of his different ways that he would talk, things like that.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, so before he leaves, he asks the clerk, where's the nearest drugstore? And he tells him, he's like, if you're lying to me, I want to come back in here. I'm going to shoot you. Like, no, I 100% believe you.
And he like pissed himself.
Yeah.
And all these other things. Like, I get it.
There was one really stupid part to that.
What was that?
He farted so loud he thought it was a gunshot. I was like, no, you didn't.
That's a loud fucking. And you feel it. You feel a fart before it even happens.
Right.
Oh, you know what's coming. We've been here before.
Yeah.
But he definitely, King took this guy and just tore into him.
Oh, yeah.
It's always funny to see characters. I don't know if this guy necessarily deserved everything the King did to him, but he got out relatively unscathed.
Yeah, he's more embarrassed than anything.
Yeah.
He was kind of he was like a little douchey to Roland at first, but like he wasn't a bad dude. He was just kind of it's kind of what you would expect from somebody who works at a gun store, and
yeah.
nobody, or this guy comes in and doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just gets really, really embarrassed.
Yeah.
And so after Roland leaves, or before Roland leaves, he decides to give him all the money in Jack's wallet.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I wanted to buy these, so here you go.
Yeah.
Take the money. And I was like, that's showing a little bit of like Roland's character right there. Like he, still believes in morality and stuff, and like I'm not wanting to steal anything.
It's you that told me I couldn't buy these. If this would have been a legal transaction, I'd have walked in and walked out. Cops wouldn't have got their heads smashed. You wouldn't shit yourself. We'd all be good.
Yeah, you wouldn't be covered in piss, you little piss baby.
Fucking gun laws. No, I'm just
as he's walking out of the store, Fat Johnny is like, I need to get right with God. It's my time to go back to church.
Yeah, I got to figure this out. I need to change my ways. 'Cause he was like skimming from the top of his some kind of mob relations or organized crime. He said he was skimming. He wasn't even skimming that much because like the whole thing felt like a mob hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says he's do an act of contrition and take communion.
So now we snap back to Eddie for a little bit. He is, still tied up on the beach, choking himself out whenever he's not tensed up. Mm-hmm. And he thinks about begging for help, but he refuses because he's like, begging would degrade me. Mm-hmm. It says here, begging would degrade him. He had lived a degrading life. He discovered that he had no wish to degrade himself further in the last few minutes of it.
Yeah. I kind of like the way that he can hold his head up high even in the worst of situations.
Right.
It shows a little bit more of who Eddie is and the transition that he's going through from being just a junkie that's all fucked up with his brother to actually having a little bit of pride.
Yeah.
I did want to mention here that you did make a prediction last week that a miraculous change would happen. Odetta back at the last moment. And King even mentions it here, like, nah, shit ain't happening.
That was more of a, I was like, King, if you do that.
For sure. Yeah. I'm not saying like you thought that was going to happen, but it was in the land of possibility.
Yeah.
And it was a way that Eddie could have been saved. But I like that he mentions it. I mean, even here with 40-some pages left, like, hey, reader, this isn't happening.
Yeah.
Don't.
I was relieved at that.
Yeah.
And he is, sitting there as he's thinking, he's just like, I hope I don't die screaming.
Mm-hmm.
If you get eaten by lobsters, you probably will be. Like, it's just, I don't see how you can't scream at that. I want to die silently as I'm being torn bit by bit.
You seen, you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Did you read the first,
I read the first book.
All right, so you know the lady that kills, oh my God. Oh no, what's his name?
This one I might not be much help with because it's
oh no. Okay, Khaleesi's husband, Draco.
Khal Drogo.
Khal Drogo, yeah, the lady that kills Khal Drogo. Khaleesi ends up burning her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's her whole thing. Is like, I won't scream while you burn. And Khaleesi's like, yeah, you will. And I'm like, oh, that's some gangster ass shit to say somebody. And then, even in the show, like they highlight the fact that she's screaming while she's burning.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, that's. There's plenty of worse ways to go in life, but burning is. Oh.
Yeah. I won't scream while I burn. You don't have a choice.
Yeah,
You're
good
going
luck.
to.
Yeah. You don't know what's about to happen to you. You might have felt pain in your life, but
God, that first season was so good, man.
The first 4 seasons are amazing. Up to the Battle of the Bastards. You've seen all of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, just don't watch the last season. Battle of the Bastards in like season 6. Whenever Jon Snow is sitting there staring down the army coming at him. One of the best moments of television I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
It's like 40 minutes of straight action. Like, I felt the claustrophobia when everybody's like drowning in bodies and shit. It was fucking insane. Everything before that was so beautifully done. Then in season 7.
Yeah. Season 5 and 6 were like, whatever.
They weren't great, but like I said, like Battle of the Bastards, I could not take anything away from that. That's one of my favorite episodes of TV.
Yeah, I'd absolutely say the first 4 seasons were awesome. Season 5 and 6 were, on the decline, but still good.
Mm-hmm.
Season 7.
We
don't talk about 7. No. I've never seen a fan community die faster.
I've never seen something that has so much cultural impact just be forgotten.
Right, like it fizzled
like
out.
If Michael Jordan like came out and had like a terrible allegation to get, we just forgot about him. Like the impact that like Game of Thrones had on Western society's culture, and like us, and here in America specifically. It had a fucking noose around us. Anything that happens with those people, they were huge. I haven't heard of Amelia. Oh no, what's Khaleesi's name?
Oh,
Amelia Clark.
Yeah.
Amelia Clark, or like I know, Jon Snow and fucking Robb Stark were in the last Marvel's movies, Eternal.
Yeah,
they were both in that. But it's like,
really, anybody but Dinklage hasn't had a whole lot to do since then.
No, and it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
It was such a good show.
But then, it really... I was actually talking about it with a guy at work the other day.
Yeah.
Because this guy, on my first day, I was sitting at my desk.
You, or...
Say what?
Did he typecast you or what? Like, oh, this guy likes Game of Thrones.
Worse, my friend. So... It was after I'd been trained for a while. They were like, okay, yeah, you know how to do this process. Go over here and do it by yourself for a little bit. Get kind of used to it before we start on the next thing. And I see, the lady who was training me. She sits like a few desks away from me, talking to, this dude. And she's like, oh, he does kind of look like that. And she's like, oh, go show him. And I was like. That caught my attention. I was like, well, show me what? Yeah. And she's like, have you ever seen Game of Thrones? And as I'm walking over, and I'm like, yeah, I've watched all of it. And the guy was like, he seemed kind of embarrassed that she was making a big deal about it. Yeah. He's like, well, I kind of noticed you looked like, and then he flips his phone around, Samuel Tarly, and I was like, go home and shave right now. And I was like, it's even worse because I'm going to school to be a librarian.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that. That's funny. Yeah,
I like Sam a lot, but I was like...
It's awesome, but it's like, you don't want to be told that. Like,
I was like, oh, man.
Don't tell me I look like fucking Sam, Like, tell me I look like somebody cool.
Right?
Fuck, I'll take Hodor over Sam.
Fat guy with messy dark hair and a beard.
There we go. Yeah, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
welcome back to the Game of Thrones podcast.
Yeah.
The next chapter starts off with Eddie tried to turn his head to avoid the first one, but he was too slow. It ripped off a swatch of his face with one claw, splattering his left eye to jelly and revealing the bright gleam of bone in the twilight as it asked its questions to the really bad woman laughed. Did that get you?
That fucking got me. I was like, what? Wait, what? Because he ended the last section being like, Roland's probably not gonna make it back on time.
Yep.
I probably won't make it out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But then this was just Roland's imagination. He was just thinking about what might be happening to Eddie right now.
Which we're finding out is not in line with the time. Then we're finding out that like Roland takes like one glance back, and the sun is still like 15. Tell like this is the sun. It's still like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever the fuck it was they said.
Yeah.
Left before the sunset, and in Eddie's world, it just like went below the horizon. So he's almost
time is moving differently.
Maybe moving differently, or like Roland. It's just like the two stories are not synced up.
Okay.
That's how I saw it. Like Eddie, or that if we were watching this from strictly Eddie's point of view, it might be 2 minutes before he comes to the door, because that's like just where he is. It's just not synced. I don't know how to explain that.
That makes sense. Yeah. But then, he's walking to the store, just trying to like, don't think about Eddie. Don't think about Eddie. Don't look back through the door, because then you're gonna feel real bad if something bad is happening, and you're not able to go through yet.
Yeah.
But he gets to the drugstore, and he's immediately annoyed, because he looks around, and all he sees is
glass, right?
Well, yeah, glass, and like he sees that there's perfumes and stuff to darken your hair, stuff to whiten your teeth.
Yep.
But he's like, this is all just, I've had my fair share of alchemists selling fake potions and basically snake oil salesmen.
Yep.
But and all he sees is snake oil. And he starts thinking here about all these like people trying to rip off good people from where he's from. And he thinks specifically about Martin, and he's like, I think I'm going to see him at the Dark Tower again. Yeah, I was like, yeah, he probably will.
Who is we have given that he is the Man in Black. He is Walter O'Dim. And
then it mentions here he recalls a creature that pretended to be a man and called itself Flag, who was being chased by two guys named Denny and Thomas, I think.
Dennis and Thomas.
Yeah. And that raised a red flag for me, because I was like,
pun intended, or red flag.
Oh, because I was like, through cultural osmosis, I know this name. Okay. I know there is a flag associated with Stephen King.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is a character. Yeah. This is someone I need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's from, or if he's just Dark Tower, or if he's like, But I was like, oh, I've heard this name. I've seen it around. Randall Flag? Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. Like, because as soon as I saw Flag with 2 G's, I was like, Randall Flag. Where do I know Randall Flag from? Yeah. So I've definitely heard the name before. Cool. So I was like, okay, cool. I caught something.
Awesome.
I don't know who Dennis and Thomas are. They haven't been mentioned before, but
okay.
I don't think.
I have a whole bunch of notes in here, but yeah, you're right.
Cool.
There you go.
I was glad that I caught something. I was.
You caught it big, and you kept on going. Like, okay, he's in the drugstore. Okay, wait. I gotta stop you. Just like kind of hint at this. I'm glad that you went back to it, because that is it's something that's just thrown in, and I didn't catch it like the first time reading this. I probably didn't catch it the third time reading this.
Yeah.
But this time I'm like, oh my god, he's telling you so fucking much. Like Flag changed a man who had irritated him into a howling dog. This guy's fucking nuts. Like that's some real magic.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have caught it if I hadn't heard that name before.
Yeah.
But seeing people talk on Twitter or Reddit or whatever, so someone somewhere had mentioned Randall Flag, and so I was like, that stood out.
It's a good time. I like Randall Flag.
And I was like, is this from? Am I thinking about something from some other media? And so I did just Google the name Randall Flag, and first result said something Stephen King. So I was like, okay, cool, close before I spoil it.
Yeah, that's so tough. Like I think it might have been in this book. I was just wondering like what somebody looked like, or I don't think it was this book. It might have been like book 4. It was like wonder what somebody looked like. It was a Dark Tower wiki or whatever it was, and like status dead. I was like, fuck. Damn it!
I did that with Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
And now I just wanted to look up fan art of a character.
That's what mine was too. I was like, okay, I love looking at just how people depict it. Like the fact that I found that there was graphic novels in the show. That's fucking awesome. Let me look at this and just see stuff.
Yeah.
And I just clicked on it. It was just like a Wikipedia entry. It was like their name, the date of birth, like what side the light or the dark in Dark Tower is basically how you look at it.
Yeah.
And status dead. Fucking god damn it.
Mine was like I didn't even go into the wiki because like I had been warned, don't go to the wiki. It's full. It was a Google autocomplete. It was like I don't remember what character it was now, but I searched their name and it was like blah 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 death scene, and I was like,
oh no.
Thanks, Google.
Yeah, don't fucking do that.
It's my fault that I'm reading a 15-year-old, 20-year-old book. Whatever, I get it, but like, still, thanks, Google.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. I enjoyed what Roland expected the medicine shack to be. I thought that was really cool. Just what medicine really is, and like what that could be in different times of human existence. You know what a medicine man was. You know, like boiling fucking potions and shit. Like they were just trying to make shit.
Yeah.
Like you imagine, like in a fantasy land, like they are really like creating shit and just doing things that are beyond what regular people would think, and that is really what medicine is.
Yeah.
The fact that you can take a pill that can kill a fever is fucking nuts. It's
is.
so normalized for us. I like the fact that if you have diabetes, you can take insulin to help that.
Yeah.
There's ways that you can combat what your body's going to do to you, and I don't ever think about it in such a visceral, like, human experience. I think more like clean and like machine-like. You know, you take it, you get better. It's a thing you do to do this. It's just a process, and I like that King led us. I don't know. It felt important in here, you know.
Yeah, and I just kind of thought about that quote just now from Arthur C. Clarke, where it's one of his like rules of writing or something, rules of sci-fi. I don't remember exactly, but one of them is sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
I love that.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's absolutely how medicine would seem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is like a potion.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. You think your stomach hurts? You can take Pepto-Bismol. It's a pink fucking potion.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's if it was just in a weird looking mug, you would think that's a potion. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put it in a glass bottle with a little stopper on it. Bada boom.
Marketing technique for any pharmacist out there. Just start putting your shit in cool bottles. I'd buy it.
Yeah.
Listerine in a cool bottle would be fucking awesome. Oh yeah, you put it in your mouth and you could breathe ice. You know? All right.
But so Jack tells him, the Mortsopedia tells him the real drugs are in the back.
Yeah.
These are just anyone can buy, but yet you can go back there and you can get the real stuff.
Yeah.
Which you need a Rex for.
A Rex. Which I get it's an RX is what he's saying. I've never pronounced it like that.
Yeah, nobody's
calling it a Rex, right?
Who calls it an RX instead of prescription?
Maybe it's just like an imagery thing that he would see, you know, the RX
maybe,
sign. I know like the abbreviation for pounds, LBS, has always fucked with me.
Yeah. Yeah, what the hell?
Obles?
Olbs?
Olbs? Yeah. Things that you read more often than you say. You know, you can read pounds or whatever. Yeah. It's just, that's one that's always got me.
Yeah.
I think of pounds, I could think of LBS. And it probably means something.
Probably.
Everything
means something. It's Latin for...
yeah, elbows.
So he starts heading towards the back, and we switch perspectives to the pharmacist. His name is Mr. Katz. He is like the son of the store's founder. He goes on this little rant about, I never wanted to be a pharmacist, but that's the only school my father would pay for.
It's the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
College was like $1,500. Figure the fuck out.
Right. Like, yeah.
All these old stories talk about, oh, my father would pay for it. Get a job as a newspaper boy. You can pay for your college, all right?
Yeah, minimum wage you could have paid for your college.
I get it. You don't want to, but
yeah,
I didn't want to.
Rich people are terrified of being cut off.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And
this guy wouldn't even be rich. He owns a.
I can see. I mean, I don't know how much pharmacists make. I mean, it takes a degree, and you don't own stores. So. Yeah. I don't know. They're not. Are they doctors? Are pharmacists doctors?
No.
They don't have a PR?
I think they require a master's, but not a PhD.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what I think.
Okay.
Because my partner used to work in a pharmacy, and none of the pharmacists were ever called, you know, it wasn't Doctor whatever his last name was.
Yeah.
So I think it just requires a master's.
Okay. I do want to point out that Katz is dealing with somebody that is obviously dealing with opioid withdrawals.
Yeah.
And made me think, for the 80s.
I was gonna say, I've heard stories of this phone call happening a lot. Yeah. Like this still is a very common phone call.
I think that we're in an opioid crisis today.
Yeah.
And it might span back 40, 50 years. We just didn't know about it. How easy that doctors will prescribe Valium.
Yeah.
And shit like that to people, and then you get them hooked through the fucking nose. Same thing with with Eddie's brother. That's how he became a heroin addict.
Yeah.
He came back with a bum knee. He took opiates in Nam. Came back and he's having fucking withdrawals from it. You find out that heroin fucking it gets that monkey off your back for a day.
Yeah.
So
one of my grandpas had to go to he checked himself into rehab because he was hooked to pain pills.
Yeah, I know multiple people that have struggled with pill addiction.
Yeah. And when I got told Grandpa's going to rehab, I was like, "The fuck?
Why? You heard it? got a torn ACL."
I was like, what kind of dark shit is Grandpa into? Oh, it's just his pain meds. Okay.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just pain meds.
Yeah.
It's probably the cleanest addiction to have, right? Because you don't see it.
Yeah.
Like just in appearances. Like,
yeah.
Even
it's
with
a socially
alcohol,
acceptable. Yeah.
Probably alcohol is the most socially acceptable.
Yeah. Well.
To be an addict. I mean, there's a lot of addicts that like don't work in a bar or work in a fucking liquor store. People you see, like you're selling them shit to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Fucking wild.
Yeah. I had that same feeling when I worked at the casino.
I can see that. Addiction.
Because it absolutely is an addiction, and you'd see people who, they were your regulars. They'd come in, the more they spend the more they spend on the machines, the better VIP host club rewards they get. Mm-hmm. So these people, their rewards are getting better and better, and they're having the time of their life. And then, next week, you only get $50 match play instead of $60, and then. They have 50 for a while, and then it goes down to 40, and like you just don't see them anymore because they ran out of money, or they like it was. I was just on the hotel side, and even I could see like, oh, we're abusing these people.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially whenever like a hotel or a casino will offer rewards for coming back. So it's like rewards or battle passes are crazy. The way that what they do to us to get us to do things repetitively daily.
Yeah.
Like that little dopamine burst of just sign in every day. You can get an extra whatever and work it up towards this. It's just we're not that fucking complicated. I think they're figuring out the human psyche way too well before we figure out how to combat it, and they're gonna get us where it's I gotta click onto this and do this day just to so I feel good for a second. The fact that I open Wordle every morning whenever I wake up, it feels good to have something cool to do every day.
Dude, the fact that they were like, let's make this compatible with Twitter so that people can post their results.
Correct. Yeah.
That is, if they didn't have that game wouldn't.
I didn't know what it was until I started seeing it on Twitter.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
Like, I looked up on the App Store first, and I was playing this fucking game where it's like you're trying to make. I think somebody just threw together a game and called it Wordle and put it on the App Store like when I first started, and it's like you're trying to match like. It was like it gave you 5 letters and you try to see how many words you can make.
Oh, the little circle thing? I've seen ads for that.
I'm terrible at it. And I'm like, when the fuck do I win? Because it's like, you have to like beat this level and like unlock. It was like a really hard one. And make like 100 words out of 5 letters. And I'm like, how are people doing this every day? What is going on?
Yeah.
So I finally just Googled it and it was there. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I kept seeing my friends posting some of that stuff. And I eventually was like, what is this code? Like, what is this arcane message that you're posting? Like, what is this? Like, oh, just Google Wordle. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for the fact that it's only one a day. Because if it wasn't, I would have played that for like hours on end and then forgot about it. After like a couple of days, I would stop caring. But the fact that it's just one a day, and what's really cool, like, I would expect them to be like, run ads on it or something.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's just a free little game. They limit the amount of time that you can play it each day.
It's got ads are coming.
Yeah.
New York Times has it now. We're already on their website. It doesn't save my fucking dark mode anymore. It pisses me off every day.
It doesn't?
Not for me. It goes on as light mode every time I go settings, dark mode every fucking. That's the first thing I do.
That's weird. It did that for me like the first time.
Every time New York Times is fucking kicking my ass. Maybe it's because I'm going to the same website. Like the same HTTPS or whatever. So it's like showing me the light mode version. Maybe there's like a something they put on the end of the address, to make it dark mode.
Maybe I just never closed out of the in my mobile browser. Well, I have like I use the Brave browser because it automatically like filters out ads.
Oh, okay.
And then like I never close out of it, so each morning when I open it up, I just refresh the screen.
Okay, that's cool. iPhones don't handle tabs very well. So most of the time I'll just go through it. It's like they want to try to run just a little bit in the background, like just in case you want to come back, it's right here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Terrible. I am gonna go upstairs and blow my nose real quick.
Okay.
I'll cut this out. I am like struggling. It's been in the back of my throat. I'm like trying to control.
Oh
it.
no.
I have to go get it out. What time do I need to cut? Around an hour, 10 minutes.
All right.
What are we talking about?
Wordle.
Okay, before that, what the fuck were we talking about?
He was addiction.
Yeah. Addiction, yeah. Opioid crisis. Sucks.
Yeah. Right, so back.
Oh yeah, we're back. I'll bring it in as I'm scooting up.
So he's on the phone with this lady. She was yelling at him because her Valium prescription ran out, and he's like, "It's a controlled substance. I can't do it. Your doctor didn't write you any more prescription for it." And she's cussing him out like he's an idiot, and he's like, "These fucking doctors, man." And I was like, a couple of weeks ago, we were like, did he go and interview a actual person like who works in an ambulance, like an actual, I can't think of the word.
First responder.
Yeah, first responder. And this time I was like, I think he got some experience from somebody who works in a pharmacy, because this call happens all the time.
Yeah.
From just from secondhand perspective of being in a relationship with someone who was working at the pharmacy for a few years. And that's exactly how they feel about doctors too. Like these assholes.
You're giving them so much rope to hang themselves with.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't want to fill their prescription whenever they need it, or whenever you don't care what you do to them with the addiction or side effects, all that shit. They're just terrible.
Yeah. But as he's on the phone with her, one of his, pharmacy techs assistants comes over and is like, "Hey, we got a problem." And he's like, "Okay, fine, just come in, I'll give you a dozen Valium, whatever." Click, hangs up. And he turns around, and Roland's got a gun in his face.
Yeah.
Katz looks over and he sees like their security guard. He had pulled his gun, but it's now on the floor, mangled and smoking.
Yeah.
Because Roland shot it out of his hand.
Of course.
Because that's his favorite move. And, if we were in Roland's head right now, he'd probably be like, "This is also a gunslinger. I need to, treat him with respect too." And he's like, "Oh, how can I help you?" And he's like, "I need you to give me Keflex." And he's like, the pharmacist didn't believe it at first. He's like,
"I don't have cocaine."
Yeah, he's like, "I don't have cocaine. I don't have heroin. I don't have the heavy drugs." He's like,
Yeah.
"I don't want that. I want Keflex."
Yeah.
And he's like, "This is probably the world's first, maybe, hold up for penicillin."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, buddy, sure, whatever. Just, okay, I'll get that for you."
Yeah.
And then someone in the store tries to be a hero. They pull a knife out and start running at Roland. And Katz looks at him before he does that, which makes Roland be like, "Oh, he catches that glance." And we snap back to Roland's perspective. Roland has been admiring one of those curved mirrors that stores have for for security purposes. thinking like, that is so cool. That is beyond the skill of people in my world. And so he looks in that and sees the guy running at him, and in just like the blink of an eye, he turns around, keeps his gun at his hip, and like kind of shoots up so that nobody in the background gets hit, because he's thinking about, how can I do this the safest way. And he shoots the blade off the knife. Like he shoots right above the handle, and it like just breaks the blade off. Yeah. But he also shoots like at an upward angle, so it just like goes up into the wall after like passing through the blade.
It's wild that he would consider that, and it also didn't make sense to me at first. Like, if you're ever gonna do anything, like stop, you want to know where it's going. Going up, it always comes down. Right?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna shoot, like I imagine that he had it on his head. He turned around on him and went from the hip, just like so. Yeah. Just right up and bam, like that. Then put it back on the what was his name? Cats,
yeah.
And Roland's such a fucking badass.
Yeah, because I always love that. That's this series that I used to read. I need to get back into it. There's this manga and anime series about superheroes, and they put a big focus on, you're not just here to fight, your enemies. You've got to do it while causing the least amount of destruction, and making sure that the innocent people around you are safe as well. And so that's what's going through Roland's mind. That's part of his gunslinger training is, protecting people, keeping people who aren't part of the conflict safe. Yeah. Which comes to play later.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna come in here in a bit. I did want to mention before we move on. Whenever Katz turns around after his assistant tells him like, "Oh, we got a problem here," King says that he opened his eyes and stared into the eyes of the gunslinger. I found that interesting because Roland is obviously not in his body, but he's still the gunslinger. It's not capitalized. It's not given a proper noun placement.
Yeah.
But I think that's the genius of King's character descriptions are very vague. He doesn't usually talk about like facial features, usually color of hair, body size, and if you're fat or not, because he loves to talk about that.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that kind of made me think about casting someone as Mort that could portray Roland in an on-screen adaptation. And maybe you could use some like camera angles. If you've ever seen Roland holding his gun, it could be a cool camera angle that you could duplicate. With Mort, so like, oh my god, yeah, that's Roland.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just one of those cool things that it adds to my thinking of this in a television way. How would I portray this on screen? How could I get someone else to watch this if it couldn't be done reading? I think a lot of my reading, it's maybe transcribing, but translating it into a film in my head. I try to think of it as a movie shot, how this would be done.
Oh yeah.
And that one was really cool. I had to write a whole little thing about it, like just how cool that is. That if you find little ways, it doesn't matter who the fucking actor is. If you can take those little hints, that this is the gunslinger, this is your titular character.
Yeah.
You can tell who it is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think. Oh god, what was that show? Oh no, it's referencing like Always Sunny all the time. Scott Bakula.
No. Where he goes back in time and like jumps into people's bodies.
Yes.
I know the show you're talking about.
Oh no.
Because they talk about it on this show this podcast I listen to a lot too.
Oh no. Leap? No. Quantum Leap?
Quantum Leap, yeah.
Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Where I imagine I've never seen the show, but if there's different characters playing the same person, because he doesn't notice that he's a different character until he like looks in a mirror, right? That's like the whole gimmick of the show.
Yeah, like a lot of times you'll see him walking around as him, and then when you kind of see it from other people's perspectives, or when he looks in a mirror, you'll see the other character.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that maybe different characters, and then he looked in the mirror and you saw Scott Bakula.
I've only seen a few clips, so it could be either way.
I've never seen an episode of it. That's just been referenced in popular media.
Yeah, I've seen one very infamous clip that I'll show you later, because he uses language I don't want to repeat.
Okay. All right, moving on.
And so, he after he shoots the knife, he turns back to him and like demands, have one of your assistants, get the medicine. and he gives him a bottle of like 200 pills. He's like, okay, 35 almost killed it. If 200 doesn't do it, then nothing's gonna do it. I'm just gonna die. That's the fact.
And honestly, I was rolling a bit. Give me like 5 bottles, just in case like another infection happens. You know? That's a game changer in Roland's world. I don't know,
honestly.
Like if it would happen in this, but like just to sell that to somebody in a town, be like you could change the lives of a whole community just by having antibiotics.
Right.
You know?
Let's meet someone smart and reverse engineer it.
Yeah, reversing. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, so he gives him the bottle of about 200 pills, and Roland is still a good dude. He wants to pay for it. He doesn't have any cash, so he was like, "Well, I see some gold here," and he takes off Jack's watch and gives it to him. It is a solid gold Rolex worth about $6,000.
Yeah. Okay.
And and the pharmacist is like, "That was $60 worth of pills. He's giving me this. I don't think no, but like, okay, damn."
Yeah, everybody here's still alive. I mean, the security guard might have a broken hand or something, but pretty easy day at the office.
You're right. So now the cops wake up.
Oh, before we go there, we're going chapter. I wanted to mention that it says when we're talking about he knew that he was in Odeto's world and Eddie's world, and that he was looking at the rounded mirror, right? He said he had seen the remains in some of the tunnel underneath the mountains. He had seen them in other places as well. Talking about the rounded mirrors.
Oh, so they used to.
So
okay.
Are we taking a leap that Roland's world is a post-apocalyptic version of Earth?
Kind of like a futuristic.
That's what I'm thinking. It is in the future because underneath the subway, like so, you thought it was like a Disney World.
Yeah, some kind of like attraction thing.
Yeah. That was you with the thing that fucking bumped crazy. Yeah. That there might be technology there, and he is now past that. The world has moved on. It's not like he is in the 1800s, and like there's no technology around. It's like there's weird technology around, but it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, because there was those companies I don't remember the names of, but like
Lamarck Industries and another one I forget what it is.
And but they had like the atomic slug powering that water pump.
Yeah.
And he talks about like they're all sorts of machines from these companies.
Yeah, but obviously there's not a craftsman alive in his world that could create a rounded mirror, but he's seen something like that before. I
must have missed that. That's awesome.
Yeah. We're jumping forward to chapter 4, the drawing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna draw a little bit.
So yeah, like I was saying, the cops wake up, and they wake up pissed.
Yeah.
One of them's name is O'Meara, and the other one is Delavon. Delavon is kind of out of it.
Oh, yeah.
He very obviously has a concussion.
He's punch drunk. Yeah, he's jacked up.
And he is way more rage filled right now than O'Meara. O'Meara's kind of the sane one, and even he's like, but they let Johnny go, and they're like, "I'm taking your gun though, because I'm taking your gun. Just deal with it."
Yeah, there's mine. Do you want it to be yours, or do you want this day to be forgotten? And I'm gonna have this gun now. It's mine.
Right. Yeah. So they go back to their car, and the first thing they hear is over the radio. They hear about a robbery in progress, shooting at a drugstore. So obviously that's our guy.
Did you notice what code was called for that robbery?
No.
Code 19.
Oh shit!
Which is a little interesting thing. It's like you were calling out the 319. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
oh man.
Code 19, which I guess in this book means death.
Yeah.
That's what it meant for Allie. That's what she found out was what happened after death. So maybe death not for you, Gunslinger. The code 19 for the Gunslinger.
Yeah.
He is death. I don't know.
I wonder what like an actual code 19 is.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that'd be fun to look up.
Yeah, I don't know if like police terminology changes per.
Well, so I know that there's some police codes that are like universal.
Like 187 is murder. I knew that.
Okay.
Then I don't know. There's a couple of them that are universal.
Yeah.
But
19 probably isn't, but
probably not.
It'd be cool to see.
It's fucking badass. Yeah. What a coincidence.
Especially if that's what it was. But yeah, they get in their car and they're like, okay, let's go there. That's close by, and they're speeding on their way there, and to get past traffic and shit, they are half on the sidewalk, half in the street.
Yeah.
People are like diving out of the way. Delavan is like, I'm gonna grab the shotgun out from under the dash, and Roland exits the gun store or exits the drugstore, and now he kind of makes a remark about now he's got all these bullets and all these pills. His pockets in the coat are getting kind of heavy, but he sees the car pull up, and he realizes, oh, this is those dudes. They're awake now, and he sees Delavan with the shotgun, loading a shell into it, and he knows what that is, and immediately drops.
Calls it a scatter rifle.
A scatter rifle. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and then Roland just tears into these guys for how fucking stupid it is to fire a shotgun into a place with civilians.
Yeah, so he drops down to the ground and like back into the store, and Delavan opens fire anyway. Yeah. And even O'Meara is like, "What the hell are you doing, dude?
What are you doing? Just pumping shells into a fucking a store? You know, like this isn't a practice range. This isn't war. This is somebody's livelihood. You know, you don't know who's all in there. If he had hostages, whatever it may be.
Yeah, and so far as we know, this guy hasn't killed anybody yet. He's hurt us.
He's embarrassed them.
He's embarrassed
maybe
us.
Maybe lost
but
them their badge. You know, if like things were to go bad.
Yeah.
So.
And we get Katz's perspective as the guy shoots into the store. He yells at everyone to like hit the floor, and for some stupid reason, his pharmacy tech like tackles him down to the ground too.
Which is just the absolute worst. I hate Nerd King like tries to get sportsy. That's not like baseball.
Yeah,
he knows about baseball pretty well. An eager tackle sacking the quarterback when the quarterback's already on the ground. It doesn't make any sense.
Right,
quarterback's on the ground. The play's dead. You're not good. And a tackle. Just a tackle is an offensive player.
Yeah. And I was like, the tackle would make sense if like the assistant saw it first and he was like trying to get Katz like protect him from the bullet or something. But Katz is the one who yelled it out. They're all the way in the back of the store. He's getting down.
Yeah.
He doesn't need the guy to be like, no. Like it's not a Mr. President situation here. Like, and then the dumbass lands on him weird and breaks his jawbone.
Yeah.
Which is just now standing out to me like jawbones are kind of a thing in this. Yeah. So, but, the cop fires the shotgun into the store. Katz hears the window shatters, hears stuff break. He smells cologne and mouthwash in the air. So this dude's fucking up his store real bad.
Yeah. His day went from like, oh, this was weird to, oh, this is shitty.
Yeah.
I just broke my jaw.
Yeah.
Fuck. And I like how Roland like sneaks up to the side of the door. He's always all right, and the way he describes like that the glass was cut into his knees and palms.
Yeah.
But he didn't care, and Mort deserves worse.
Yeah, like Jack wakes up during that finally, and starts yelling at him, and Roland's just like whatever, it's not my body.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It made me cringe while I was giving blood yesterday, or God, was that only yesterday? Weird weekend. And I was reading this, and I was like, ugh, just have like glass slivers cutting your knees. That's just that's gross.
And he just hides. He puts away his gun because he knows he was not going to need it. Which baller move.
Yeah.
But he knows that the cops are going to assume that he fled out the back, so they run in there, and he gets the drop on Delavan. He sneaks up behind him and like cracks him over the head again. With just
makes
his hands.
A single fist. So
he's like, I just imagine
interlacing. That's like such like a medieval looking like attack to hit somebody like this with two hands.
Yeah, just
that's so
coming
weird.
down like a fucking hammer.
It doesn't sound like any. It'd be like it's an old school fighting technique.
Yeah.
That I don't think like our Marines today are learning how to double fist attack somebody.
Yeah. And he cracks Delavan over the back of the head. Delavan is out.
Yeah. Again, get knocked out twice. Oh,
yeah.
Headaches for days.
With knocked out twice with head injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fucked.
Yeah, CTE on the way.
And then he takes the shotgun, grabs it by the barrel, and just swings and smashes O'Meara across the face. Yeah. And O'Meara's down too. And then he empties the gun of its shells and just drops it on Delavan's body. And he says, I wrote it down here, You're a dangerous fool who should be sent west. You have forgotten the face of your father.
That's a badass line.
Yeah. I was like, I still don't exactly know what you've forgotten the face of your father.
Has he used that yet? Or
He's used it before,
okay,
yeah.
That is a thing that they say a lot, that you've forgotten the face of your father.
Yeah, which I kind of just, means like you've forgotten your purpose, you know shame kind of thing.
You've forgotten your training, you've forgotten
Yeah.
why you're here, the people that trained you into who you should be. You're being
Yeah.
a rapscallion.
Yeah. And then we get like a kind of a flash forward to these guys are losing their jobs.
Yeah.
Delavon is telling Internal Affairs that he has no memory of the incident, which makes sense because dudes can cuss to hell.
Yeah, 2 hazers, right?
Yeah,
and they say like, it was mighty convenient for the situation for him, firing into a fucking store.
Yeah.
But also Roland's like, he really might not.
Yeah, he's probably right.
Because he was the one that was stumbling around too, right?
Yeah.
He might have been like, seriously.
He was already fucked up.
Yeah, grayed out. Maybe not blacked out at that time, but on his feet when there's nobody home type shit.
Yeah, and they note that like O'Meara getting hit with that shotgun, he's going to require like multiple surgeries and lots of stitches in his face to look normal again.
Yeah, shouldn't chase down the gunslinger.
Yeah,
he got the best of you, and then you fucked up.
And then Roland's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take their car." Yeah.
Ask Mort, hey, can you drive this carriage?
And Mort is like yelling and screaming and freaking out,
Yeah.
refusing to comply, refusing to help out.
Yeah.
And Roland is just like, look, this isn't going to hurt me, but if you don't shut the hell up and help me out, I'm going to just take your eyeball out.
Yeah. And wipe it on the back seat.
Yeah, just wipe it like a booger, is what he says. And, they're in each other's mind. They can't lie to each other. So Jack knows that he will.
Yeah.
And so he's like, shit, okay, yeah, I'll drive.
Saying Mort was like feigning being in hysteria too.
Yeah, like he was just faking it to
bide time or whatever, figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
that this should be like my natural response, so I'm gonna act like I'm really, really freaking out.
Yeah. And so he tells him to drive him to the village, which is about 20 minutes away. Mm-hmm. And he's like, once they get there, he's like, okay, I want you to take me to the subway. Oh, which subway? There's a lot of them. It's like, oh, do you remember Odetta Walker? No, Odetta Holmes. You pushed her in front of the subway a few years ago. Take me to that one. Yeah. And so
it was like a brief but like kind of tough struggle.
Yeah.
To control Mort again. That he did, like he bucked away from that. Like that, how Detta and Odetta were split. Same with Mort. That he kept that side of him locked away, like the side that was Mort, and there was a side that was the pusher. Yeah,
so it's like he didn't want to accept that, like, no, this I don't do that. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But eventually, he's like, okay, man, I'm gonna do it. And that shit cracks me up. But they get there, they step out of the car, and a couple of new cops are.
Happen to
be there. They've heard everything over the radio. They know what's going on. Mm-hmm. They realize that, hey, that's the stolen car. So they get out, and as Roland, Jack, Rojack are walking to the Rojack Horseman. They're walking to the subway. Yeah. The cops tell them like, hey, stop, freeze. Yeah. We're gonna shoot, and they just take off running.
Just bolted.
Yeah. And so the cop shoots and hits him, and Roland goes down.
How did you... Okay. He did bad, like, spatial awareness, King did here, of where in the scene this was happening. My first impression, say, this is north, this is south, just for some reason. Okay, we're on this street. They're, like, parked down here. Roland pulls up, goes in, like, a little subway entrance right here.
Yeah.
How the fuck does he get hit in the left breast pocket? Like, they're even saying, like, the guy's like, freeze! He's like, he starts to pivot, and I'm like...
Like he leads the shot a little bit? Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
I didn't think about that,
but... It lost me a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he shoots him in the breast pocket, basically, and he goes down in a heap.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, my immediate thought was like, oh, he clipped him in the arm or something and knocked him down. But, Roland is laying there, and, his first thought is like, that gunslinger has really good aim.
Yeah, good fucking shot.
Yeah, good job, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, A+, high five.
I wonder if Roland has been shot before.
Yeah.
Like, he's obviously been stabbed in Tull. Other things. He's had other things happen to him. He's been bitten by monstrosities.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he has been shot before.
Not to our knowledge.
I imagine he did, because he did have a war, the war
Yeah.
that kind of ended his world with the Great Man. And he took a bullet like a champ.
Yeah.
I guess if you don't care about your body, there's like that, okay, this is just a sensation. Pain doesn't mean anything,
And later, or we cut back to Roland's perspective. He's lying on the ground thinking about how great that was. And they find out that, like, oh, it didn't hit me. It hit the very conveniently placed cigarette lighter in my pocket.
They gave a cool little backstory for it being there, but it would have been maybe give that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Earlier in the...
Put that when he's in the office. Like when he's in the office before Roland takes control, have a scene of him lighting the boss's cigarette and putting it into that pocket.
Or Roland checks his pockets.
Yeah.
He's like, what is this? Oh, like, it was a lighter here in my right pocket. He just put it in his breast pocket because he wanted whatever. He wanted the Gunslinger belts to fit better.
Yeah.
It's something that adds a little bit more. Oh, I remember that lighter.
Yeah.
Not just like was it Deus Ex Machina?
Deus Ex, yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, here it is, and you're fine.
Yeah.
But
right, set that up a little bit. Chekhov's lighter.
Chekhov's lighter.
And he's kind of playing possum, and but it caught on fire, which makes sense. And so now, like, his shirt is starting to catch on fire. He's laying on it, but it is like burning.
Mm-hmm.
And the cops come up and they flip him over, and the fire just starts to spread a lot faster. And the cop freaks out. He's like, I ain't never shot anybody and they caught on fire before. What just happened?
Yeah, they asked him if he shot him with a tracer round.
Yeah, because...
And it's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That's the one thing that fucked him up, right? That's what Roland uses to his advantage.
Yeah, Roland uses that hesitancy to, like...
Yeah.
The way I kind of imagine it, because it talks about, like, he, like, kind of coiled him and, like, kicked him in the chest. Mm-hmm. Like, that move that people do where they, like, are on the ground, they'll kind of coil back and, like, kick up and, like, flip up and land on their feet.
Yes.
That's kind of what I imagined.
I could see that with all of it. Instead of going to, like, he went back on his, like, shoulders, basically, and, like, hand sprung to kick and knock the shit out of him, right?
Yeah. And that guy's on the ground, and he warns the other one, like, don't follow. Do not follow me.
Yeah.
It's almost over. Don't worry.
I don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
But it's almost over.
It's almost over. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And we get a short little section of him, like, running through the subway, and it's crowded. And he's like, but even New York people got out of the way for a man on fire.
How big is this fire in your mind? Is it like...
I imagine, like, probably just, like, this area, like, kind of over, like, his left breast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's spread too far from there, but probably is growing quicker because clothing isn't super flame retardant usually.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially not back then.
At one point, I think it just starts pissing Roland off. So, okay, if like this, I keep on burning, I'm gonna die before I can get what I need to do. And he gets basically butt ass naked, but he has his underwear on, but he stuffs all that. What the fuck is going on with this image? How big is your underwear?
Right.
To put 50 shells. I mean, it's a brick.
Yeah,
it's a big. What kind of underwear are you wearing? And how tight is it to you? Like, even I wear boxer briefs. Like, they're tight around my legs. I cannot fit 5 fucking boxes of shells. In my
no, absolutely not. They'd fall through.
I'm thinking like probably whitey tighties.
He describes them as being whitey tighties and finds them.
How big is your fucking banana hammock?
And he even like thinks about how weird it is that this guy, like, he's like, this is some weird ass underwear. What is this?
I think he calls them panties at one time.
Yeah, he compares them to ladies' panties.
Yeah, and what the fuck? What's the purpose?
Right.
What is this, King? It seems so out of place. It is so jarring.
Yeah, like just have him throw the coat off or something, like.
Or just like, your shirt.
Yeah.
And put them in your pants pockets.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're slacks, they probably got 4 pockets. You can do whatever. But yeah.
And like Jack is screaming in pain, and Roland's trying to ignore him. Mm-hmm. But as he's shoving everything into his tidy whities, he hears the train coming, and so he takes off for it. And like that's too much to fit in tidy whities, so I imagine he's like probably holding it as he's running.
I'm hoping a little bit of him is still somehow smoldering or kind of on fire. He's
Right.
Like his hair is this little. He's running.
And he vaults over the turnstiles,
Yep.
and so whoop!
Yeah.
And as he's running, he tries to think real hard, send out a mental message to Detta and Odetta.
Was it like a mental dagger or something? The
Yeah.
words are kind of funny. A swift, sharp arrow of thought. The door. Look through the door. No.
And I was like, okay, Professor X.
And that is the shine.
Yeah.
The way to be able to communicate to people in The Shining. The little kid has the most powerful shine in the world. He can send a message from Colorado, which is where the Shining's at, to one of his allies in Florida, and it wakes him up out of bed and gives him a hemorrhage in his fucking brain. He does it so loud. So
oh wow, okay.
There's a little bit of logic here that if you didn't know.
I figured that's probably what it had to be, since we had kind of talked about the Shine a little bit.
It just explains a lot of his shit. Anything that's telepathy or telepathic based.
Yeah.
You can just kind of agree that most main characters in King properties have a little bit of either telekinetic or telepathy. So
yeah, I was like, okay, so Roland has a little bit of shine.
A little bit to him, yeah.
Yep.
Basically, like I said, most main characters have a little bit. It's not going to save the day. I'm not going to just be and think about shit that's going to happen or nothing. But it's a little bit of.
And even then, he's just like, I hope this works.
Yeah. I believe they're also connected through a little bit of Ka too.
Yeah.
If you want to think about it like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Drawing them, there might be a soul connection there, a fortune, whatever it may be that is connecting them. So, yeah, I want to give that a little bit of leniency. I didn't want to be too hard on this because it is very important that Detta looks through the fucking door right now.
Yeah. If that didn't work, then everything would be fucked.
Yeah.
And what happens is that he runs to the train and pushes Jack in front of it. Yeah. He at the last moment, and I'm again, just imagining he's got his hands here holding all the stuff.
Yeah.
He pulls out of Jack's body and takes the stuff with him back to the beach.
Yep.
And the last thing we see through the door is Jack falling in front of the subway.
Yep, and he's cut in half, but not from the knees down. It's from the waist down.
Yeah, from the waist up.
Actually cut in half.
Yeah.
So. We switch back to Detta's point of view, and it gets kind of nuts here for a second.
Yeah. She's screaming with two voices at the same time.
Yeah, it says Detta saw herself in the doorway, saw herself through her eyes, saw herself through the gunslinger's eyes, and her sense of dislocation was as sudden as Eddie's, but much more violent. She was here, she was there, in the gunslinger's eyes. It makes the feeling of being in a mirror, where it's okay, it's not that you're looking, I don't know. However they can work this out to show that it is different than just looking at a mirror or looking at a screen and watching yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's
important. There's this science museum in Oklahoma City, and they've got a thing there where it's a little thing that you crawl under and then you stand up in, and there's 3 or 4 mirrors around you. Mm-hmm. But it's just the whole room is surrounded by mirrors, and so you can see yourself at every angle, mm-hmm. and you just see a million copies of yourself basically.
I don't want to do that.
I always thought it was really cool, but that's kind of what I imagined here. She's seeing herself from multiple angles, multiple perspectives. It says at one point she finally understood everything.
Understood all of it.
Yeah.
And that Odette understood too.
Yeah.
They start screaming at each other. I love the duplicity of these two sentences in this short little section. I'm gonna probably read the whole fucking thing because I like this so much. Where it says, "Odetta," she screamed, suddenly understanding everything, what she was and when it had happened. "Detta," she screamed, suddenly understanding everything, what she was and who had done it. Just really cool that. Just I love anything that is drawing a parallel between two things in writing and having formatting things the exact same and just repeating anything in writing is a great move. You can so much communicate with that. There's 2 words changed here. Odetta understands who had done it, and Detta understands when it had happened.
Yeah.
They're understanding all these lapses in time and the fact that Detta did break the blue plate and all the other things might not make sense in our life. it communicated a lot to me in this short little. I wanted to bring up this writing. I admired it.
Yeah, and then we get a short little scene of Roland and Eddie. Roland is like back in his body, and he's automatically feeling worse. He like
oh my god, fuck.
Yeah, like not only is it like sick and dying, but it's been laying stiff on a beach for a few hours at this point.
Yeah.
He runs up to try to help Eddie, but he is too weak to move him. The lobstrosities are coming. He can't really fight them off very well. Like I think he like throws one off and then like collapses from the effort.
I feel like he pulled Eddie like one time and he lost his footing in the sand.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, it's a wrap. They're faster than me. I'm done.
And then we, so things are looking pretty dire for them. And then we go back to Odetta and Detta. And it says here that like they try, they're both ready to kill each other, but at the same time realize they can't.
Do you believe that this is like, they said they saw two women. Do you believe it's literally two beings? Like splitting physically? Or is it like faces changing? Like where it's two, you could see the two women within this one body,
I kind of imagine that's how it was. And the two separate beings like were more in her own mind. At first reading through, I did read through this section a couple of times. Like my first thought was, how is there a second person here now? Yeah. I was like, how? Then I read through it again. And I was like, okay, there's not actually a second person. I don't even know if she's, they describe it as her screaming with two voices. That's probably not even true either. Like it's not realistic.
Yeah, it can't really happen. But they are within this body. Something crazy is happening.
Yeah.
I'll play this whole fucking series. I'm gonna keep on bringing up like what it look like on screen.
Yeah.
If you could have an actor that could pull off both Odetta and Detta, and just really believe that they're two different people, and like they could make all those changes with acting choices, this would be a really cool scene to shoot.
Yeah, like I just kind of had a picture of that. One. They film it once with her, doing it as Odetta, and then another with her doing it as Detta, and they could even like to even accentuate it some more. They could do some, slight makeup changes or something, just
hair
like,
changes or something.
yeah,
maybe have a look
just even slight, like not even a whole lot, just barely.
Yeah.
And then as this is happening, they're like screaming and clutching their head and just like bam, 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 switching back and forth.
Yeah. That could be really cool, effect-wise, if they could do that like in post-production. That could be really fun to look. I was thinking also if they could do it as a continuous take, if the actor was talented enough, switching back and forth between them and having them do both sets, that's a lot to ask from somebody though. To do something like this.
And they're and then it says here, for the first time since a man named Jack Mort had dropped a brick on the head of a child, she was whole. And before we can think about what that means, we cut back to Eddie's point of view.
Yeah.
He sees like a lobstrosity inches above his face. Like it is what Roland had imagined earlier is about to happen.
Yeah.
He is about to lose, a chunk of his face, get his eyeball ripped out, and then the lobstrosity just fucking explodes.
Data. Oh!
Yeah.
It'd be so fucking cool to see.
Yeah.
It'd be so fucking awesome to see, I just see these fucking things about to happen and just peak mist.
Yeah.
That'd be so fucking cool to see. I don't know.
And then another explodes as it's about to eat Roland's good hand.
Yeah. God, imagine if Roland is nubbed.
Yeah. And they look up and they see the Dettas. It's, she's ranting like Detta, but not at them, at the lobstrosities.
Yeah.
And the, lobstrosities are smart enough to realize, okay, we got to fuck off.
We've lost this engagement.
Yeah, we're not. It's like, oh, Tim and John, they're gone. And so Eddie's choking and Roland's trying to like undo the knots, but he's too weak. And so the Dettas push him out of the way and they, have his knife and cut Eddie free.
Yeah.
And then the chapter ends.
I don't like this last part. I gotta add a little nitpick with it. where after the dead is pushed away Roland's hands, he's like, "Who are you?" He husks as darkness deep in the night began to take him down. "I am 3 women," he heard her say. And as if he was speaking to him from the top of the deep well. Like, I who had no right to be, but was, and I am the woman who you saved. Corny as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure was.
Like, that's such a weird, profound thing to say in that moment that it just
yeah.
Yucky. Do better.
It's like people wouldn't talk like that.
No.
That's not in
she's
that
from
moment.
The 60s. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like she's from fucking Benjamin Franklin's time. She's not going to talk this crazy.
Right. And wouldn't have the speech prepared in the moment that she's trying to save these guys.
I'll share this. Who are you? I don't know just yet.
That would have been badass.
I don't know just yet.
Just like, go then. There are other worlds than these.
It's a short line that means really nothing. That can be. We can think about it. Yeah. So the book would end that. I've been very pissed. But we do get a final shuffle.
Yeah. So now we're on to the final shuffle.
Yeah.
And it starts off, for the first time in what seemed like 1,000 years, the gunslinger was not thinking about the Dark Tower. I was like, yeah, that's probably been. So what he's thinking about is a deer that's in front of him that he's about to shoot. My immediate thought was, are we getting a flashback right now? What's going on? Mm-hmm. He's just, but he's just excited for meat. He's just so happy that he's
red meat.
Like he's so happy that he's about to eat something other than lobster.
Yeah.
And he's amazed that he's doing well so soon. And he's so focused on this deer that he doesn't see the woman standing behind him, watching him with assessing brown eyes. I was like, okay, just
standing.
Okay. Yeah. And also, the woman. Yeah. No name, just the woman.
The woman, yeah.
And then we find out, okay, it's been 6 days. Roland has been, delusional this whole time, but they've been feeding him the pills. Mm-hmm. And but he's been calling Eddie, Cuthbert, and Elaine again. Mm-hmm. He's been calling the woman. He's been calling her Susan. Mm-hmm. And Eddie is just dead exhausted because he's, pushing.
Ran up and down this beach, almost died.
Yeah.
Heroin withdrawals. He's had tough probably like 2 weeks.
And now he's pushing him in the wheelchair, and
yeah.
she's riding him piggyback.
Yeah, but she can stand still.
And eventually they reach the woods, and so next book, no beach. We're into the woods now.
No more beach. Yep.
And now we cut back to the present. Roland's doing a real bad job of carving up the deer.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to use the knife with his good hand. He's missing a few fingers, so it's not his good hand anymore.
Yeah.
And he's not skilled enough with his left hand. And
I love how he talks to his left hand. So you are going to learn to be smart.
Yeah. I believe in you, little guy.
As I was in a cast for 9 months my sophomore year. So I learned how to do a lot of things left-handed.
Yeah.
And they do fade, but there's still sometimes like you're put in predicaments, you'll be just amazed how fast you can overcome. Yeah. I couldn't use my thumb in my right hand, so I couldn't write. So like I had to write left-handed for all of sophomore year.
Oh man.
And you pick it up really quickly. My left-handed writing whenever I was on and had to write with that was way better than my right-handed writing has ever been. I had to think so much.
Yeah. I bet you had to put like so much focus into it.
I didn't make my D's the same way because it felt weird to make like. I'd usually make my D like down like that, then up with a big loop.
Yeah.
Like I made like a C and then an L to connect.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It's easier to write like sticky. I don't know. It's just little things.
That makes sense.
If you ever lose a hand, don't be too mad. Like you will learn very quickly how to do other things left-handed.
I used to read the Walking Dead comic a lot. Mm-hmm. I never finished it, but I got like post time skip where they skipped forward a few years, so I was pretty late into it. I figure I'm probably like less than 50 issues away from the end. Mm-hmm. But they very early on in the series, I don't know if they ever did it in the TV show or not because I stopped watching that after like the 3rd or 4th season.
Same.
Which apparently it's still going on. Like it's just about to end.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyways, very early on in the comic, the main character loses his hand.
Rick?
Yeah, Rick loses his hand super early on.
They never do that in the show?
I don't know if they do or not. Not when I was watching.
I don't think they ever do.
Probably not, because it's going to be hard to
CGI.
Hard to CGI or make that.
How's he losing the comic?
To be honest, I don't really remember.
Okay.
But yeah, super early on, he loses his hand.
Okay.
And I was reading an interview with Kirkland, Robert Kirkland, the writer, and he's so pissed at himself for doing that. He's like, it makes writing a main character so much harder. You'll want them to do something, and there's just, they can't do this, or he has to find another way to do this. Like, just he's like, I have both hands, and I've been like, oh, you take having two hands for granted.
Oh, fuck yeah, I could have. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, it wasn't easy to learn how to do that. I was saying, but the necessities, whenever you're sitting there in fucking algebra,
yeah.
Okay, I have to write this down. I got to learn this shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn, but like, there's things you can't do. You can't use, like, to this day, when I was in the cast, my thumb had to be up, right? Because I broke a bone in here that like wouldn't fucking heal. My thumb had to be isolated, so it was like wrapped up, right?
Oh man.
And so like anytime that I would turn on my car music, I'd pinch with these two fingers to turn it on, just like that. Do it to this day. Anytime that I'm like right there, not the same car or nothing, but it's like a knob that I can use with these two fingers. I use that a lot.
Yeah.
You don't use your thumb. You don't, because I didn't have access to it. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'd have to use the side of my thumb to pull the gear shift.
Yeah.
Gear shift, I think. Yeah, it had a little release on the side, but I have to use the side of my pointer finger and do that.
Oh man.
Yeah, you adapt.
Yeah.
It's wild. Never broken a bone or like been immobilized like that. It's crazy.
I've never broken a bone. Yeah. But I can't imagine.
It's not as bad as it sounds. Yeah. It's just you learn to get past it.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, Robert Kirkland was just pissed at himself for doing that.
I think that's.
He's like, I wanted it to have stakes, but I kind of wrote myself into a corner, and it made it a lot harder for me.
Well, that's also a good writing exercise, though.
Yeah.
Hamstring your characters. See if you can.
Yeah.
Write it, because there's fucking 7 more of these motherfuckers, and he's not gonna grow fingers back.
Right.
I'm telling you, he doesn't have fingers in any of these.
I was like, does he get a robot hand or something?
No, nothing. He doesn't Luke Skywalker any of it. He is sitting here with a pinky, a ring finger, and a thumb for the rest of the fucking the series. He doesn't heal.
Yeah, I figured he didn't. Like, I was like, if he doesn't take Jack's body as his own, he's gonna just have 3 fingers for the rest of the series. Is kind of what I was thinking.
And yeah, it was King did it purposely because he made too powerful of a character for the world, because he has guns. He has 2 of them, and he's like the best shot of all fucking time.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to do something to this guy. We can't just have Superman, you know?
Yeah. But then the woman comes up, and she takes the knife and she says she'll do it. And this is when we get her name is Susanna. Dean.
So, consummated marriage. Right?
Yeah, I was like, okay. But apparently Susanna was both Odetta and Detta's middle name. Yeah. So she took Susanna as her new name. Yeah. And Dean as her last name. And I was like,
strange,
oh, damn it.
It is a little bit, but again, in the same way that I'm gonna give him some leniency for being able to fucking think to Detta, the turnaround. So the way I'm gonna be like, okay, these people were star-crossed lovers. Let's get some Shakespeare shit, okay? If Romeo and Juliet could happen in a total of 32 fucking hours.
I always forget about that, yeah.
It happens like literally in like less than 36 hours. It's fucking stupid. This man is banished for less than a day. It comes back. We just read Shakespeare, so I'm gonna be all over it. But yeah, so I'm gonna give him a little bit of here. I'm not too big at love at first sight, but she took his name. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. I was like, well, at least they've known each other for a week now.
I think that was fucking when our Rowan was all feverish. He was right next to him.
Just roll over onto his side. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he's sitting there dreaming about fucking wars and people he's killed, and he's like, oh yeah, Pound Town tonight, right?
But you know, they afterwards they all eat, and Roland finally feels comfortable and safe enough to actually sleep instead of sleeping on guard.
Yeah.
He's not sick sleeping right now. He's fully conscious and is like, I'm going to actually sleep.
Yeah, like I'm going to pass out, basically, I think.
Yeah.
How I put it too.
And as he's dreaming, he's dreaming of the Dark Tower.
Of course, as you do.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
It was literally calling him. Roland, come. Roland, come.
And it says like the Dark Tower is standing on the horizon of a vast plain, the color of blood, in the violent setting of a dying sun. I was like, ooh, so lots of red.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool imagery, right?
But after all this dreaming, he wakes up. He sees that Eddie's awake and Susanna's asleep. I just realized something. The name that he was accidentally calling her the whole time was Susan.
Susan, and she went with Susanna.
She's like Susanna now.
Yeah.
And wasn't Susan someone in his past?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Cause a wheel.
Yeah.
Say.
Yeah. The wheel of time keeps on turning.
Yep.
But when he and Eddie start talking, Eddie's like, "Oh, were you dreaming of the Dark Tower, buddy?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was."
Yeah, well, you got me.
Yeah. And I just like, I know it probably wasn't like supposed to come off as teasing, but I could like definitely see that being like, "Oh, did you dream of the Dark Tower tonight, buddy?"
Yeah. Now that you say it, it's like, think about your big game on Friday. Yeah. Especially whenever you're watching someone else sleep and they wake up. Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
And they kind of talk about like what's the future hold for us, and Roland pulls out the jawbone out of his wallet.
Yeah.
And like, this will guide us to the tower.
Yeah, because Eddie asks, he's like, "Do you know where you're going?" Roland says, "To the tower." And Eddie says, "Well, yeah." Eddie said, "That's like me being some ignoramus from Texas without a road map saying he's going to Aiken Asshole, Alaska. Where is it? Which direction?"
It's
I'm so happy Eddie survived this book. That's
Me
all
too.
I'm gonna say.
Me too. I love Eddie.
Roland's great, and I love being in his mind, but he's just gonna add those little spice to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So he pulls the jawbone and says, "Oh, this will guide us."
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie kind of echoing some past conversations with Jake in the last book.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "We're just your pawns, aren't we? Like, we're just pieces for you to use in this game."
Yeah. He says, like, "I love her, man. If you hurt her," and Roland immediately, "I'll do what I need to do."
Yeah.
Straight up.
But then Roland surprises me, and he's like, "I love the both of you," and like starts crying with it a little bit.
Yeah.
That I was like, wow, that you're crying, you love them so much, and like you're accepting that they'll probably die because of you.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know what happens to people he loves.
Yeah. It hasn't turned out good for anybody yet.
Yeah. And he's like, but you'll go on to the very end no matter what. And he starts crying too.
Mm-hmm.
Just two bros crying in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
Yeah, it's not gay.
And Eddie talks about he followed, it's like, I followed Henry to his tower, and it was awful and it was poison.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to follow you to your tower if it's just going to be the same way.
Yeah.
And, I was like, that is a very good, he's compared Henry to Roland a few times. And I was like, that's just another really good comparison between the two. Because Roland is his new Henry.
I want you to, sorry. I was listening, but I found a really good line that, sorry.
No, you're good.
Roland is his new Henry.
Yeah.
Definitely. And they're chasing a dream that is not necessarily Eddie's. Eddie is the come along. He's just with him. He's just there.
Yeah.
But he's going to help out Roland any way that he can. Even though Roland says, like, you're probably going to be used. You're going to be spent by me. Like a used shell, And Eddie really freaks out about Roland might get Susanna killed, and Roland's just like, we all die in time. Just those annoying ass lines that people will give, right?
Yeah.
But since you are now kind of starting in the stand, take mention of the line where Roland says, Eddie asks, "What are you talking about?" Roland says, "Everything there is." The gunslinger said calmly, "We are going to go, Eddie. We are going to fight. We are going to be hurt, and in the end, we will stand." Which is kind of like the whole theme of the stand. Like, not much between these two books are really connected, but like in the end, you will make your stand is like the whole thing of that book. It's really fucking cool that he mentions it here.
And there, right before that, Eddie has a really good line that I wanted to point out too. Mm-hmm. He goes, the only thing my brother taught me he taught me that if you kill what you love, you're damned. And you're going to get all of us killed, aren't you?
Mhm.
So, like, just another confirmation that, like, Roland is kind of already damned. Like, he is, damned to his fate.
What fate and what damnation, could Roland have? Oh, God. I wish. Fast forward me a year and a half, this would be an amazing conversation.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, his damnation or his salvation, whatever the story may be, and maybe he has been damned already by losing his world and his loved ones. Maybe whatever it may be,
Yeah.
But I do like that line. I'm happy that you brought that up. That if you kill what you love, then you're already damned.
But then the book ends with Eddie going back to sleep and Roland thinking more about the tower. And there's, it ends on a really nice line of he would come to the Dark Tower and there he would sing their names. So that, maybe that's just Roland having wishful thinking, but, it leaves us on a really hopeful note. And, a much more positive one than the conversation he just had with Eddie.
Yeah.
Like, there will be maybe not a good ending, but something of beauty there.
That it maybe their sacrifices won't be for nothing.
Yeah.
That he is. It's not like he's using up and spitting them out just because he doesn't care.
Right.
He's using them up and spitting them out because it's required of him.
Yeah.
That this is what it takes to keep moving on. It took him tossing Jake into a hole to reach the Man in Black, which got him to these beaches. I don't think much really goes on past this if the doors aren't there.
Yeah.
Maybe he still has both his hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, Roland's an interesting character, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Part of what I'm most excited about for the rest of the series is just really diving into Roland and learning more about him, learning more about his past, and just kind of exploring who he is.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's already just super in depth, and there's a lot of mystery to him still.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking layers too.
Yeah.
He's not a one note. He's not a static character, as the literature nerds will tell you.
I would there's this podcast I listen to called I don't know, it's a Gundam podcast, and they will have they have a friend of theirs who is a doctor, a psychiatrist, come in, and like they'll have her kind of watch some pivotal episodes and kind of talk about the like psychological.
Do they do that as a YouTube series? Because that would fucking hit.
I don't think they do. I think they're just audio only.
God, that would hit. I've seen like a lawyer reacts to different things that happen, like You Can't Handle the Truth. A Few Good Men, I think that is.
Yeah.
With Jack and Tom.
Oh, I think I've seen. I know that's kind of a big like a big subgenre on YouTube is like, professional reacts to
like
media version of
being, represented, and that fucking hits, even if it was just Gundam specific,
And she kind of does like a brief 15-20 minute kind of analysis of these characters and like some of the underlying issues that could be motivating their character and stuff. I would love to see that, but for Dark Tower. But you can't really be like, okay, just read this page to this page. No, you'd have to have them devote to like the series itself.
This series is so dense that maybe I'm hyping it up because it's like one of my favorite series. But with Roland, I don't know who the fuck he is by the end of these books. There's still things you learn about him. I don't know if that's the character necessarily changing or just more getting revealed about him.
It could be both.
And I don't know how you could. Yeah, give us Psychiatrist the Gunslinger.
Right.
What do you think of this guy?
Yeah, I would, and I wouldn't be surprised if there is somebody with like a psychology PhD who's read these and written about them.
You're a psychologist out there. Come join the team over here with Redacted Media.
Absolutely.
Break down the Gunslinger. That'd be fucking awesome. Just from a psychology standpoint. Yeah. Obviously, we're taking a lot of the literature side of it and the writing side of it. That'd be really cool. God, could you imagine all the ways Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, I just thought of something else that'd be really interesting. So a while back there was these like series of books that came out as like philosophy and blank, and it would be like philosophy and Batman as a whole like book about his philosophy and like you know just kind of ways to think about this world. And there's like philosophy and Final Fantasy and just other types of nerd media.
Yeah,
I'd love to see a philosophy in the Dark Tower.
be awesome.
That would be really cool.
Anything you offer me of Dark Tower content, I'm taking it in. So
Yeah.
Do you feel okay? So we're 2 books in. Is this series underrated? Like, are you mad that you haven't heard about this sooner?
Kind of like maybe not mad, but like surprised.
Yeah.
I know that back when we were in high school, I know that like I do remember hearing a lot of people talking about it in our school. But I never saw much, hype for it. I've never seen really much hype for it online.
No.
Or just really people talking about it actively. I'm sure that there are, I bet r/Stephen King is fairly, a fairly popular subreddit, I'm sure. I haven't looked because...
Who's bigger, Stephen King the movies or Stephen King the books?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I would say. You're not topping Tim Curry's Pennywise. Sorry.
No, you're good.
You're not topping it.
Yeah.
Like that is such a staple in the horror movie side of it, and like even without it, like there's still just fucking blockbuster videos.
The
Shining, which is Kubrick's thing, anyways.
Yeah.
But it's linked to King too.
Yeah.
So like, I think that also with that, the same reason why nobody believes that Green Mile is a Stephen King book.
Oh yeah, that one surprised me.
Yeah, it's like it's like Stand By Me is Stephen King. Like what the fuck? Shawshank Redemption is Stephen King.
Yeah.
The same way that people don't think about that is why this book is limited.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why do I want to read a whole fantasy series about the guy that writes about killer clowns and cemeteries that could bring your cat back to life?
Yeah.
So like, I get it, and it's hard that he is pigeonholed so far because he is much more than a. Obviously, is there any horror elements in this to you?
Not really. I mean, there's like, there's parts where you can see him flexing his horror writer skills, like, the lobstrosities themselves, or like the air wrecks scene, like the part where the ambulance driver is talking about the crash plane.
Yeah, with the girl with her like the shoe blown off, but the foot was still in it.
Yeah, and like the weird ass like spiders from the first book.
Yeah.
And so like you can definitely tell there's like kind of grotesque, spooky stuff in here, but I wouldn't say that it's horror. I could see that some of these elements some of these elements could definitely be used in horror for sure. Like you could make something horrible out of them.
For sure. But, and I think that like the best you've read it.
Yeah.
The best part of it is not the fact that Pennywise is a weird spider demon. It's the kid's story. That's the best part of the book. Yeah. Is that you could tell a group of kids and tell their story through the summer and the trauma that they're dealing with and how they grow and overcome. And same with like Stand By Me is basically it 2.0 to me. It takes place in the same town too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. They're
cool.
both in Derry. Or maybe they're in Castle Rock. I don't know. I was just looking up that the guy that the Man in Black brought back to life in the tavern.
Oh yeah.
Remember what his name was? I had to find it. So.
No, I don't.
I thought it was Mort. I was like, wait, did he just use 2 fucking names back to back? It's Nort.
Nort. Yeah, Nort.
Yeah. It was bugging the shit out of me, so I had to look that up.
You know what? I remember making like a Kingdom Hearts joke to myself about that because the bad guy in that, his name is Xehanort.
Okay.
And like this character gets like corrupted by like his power or something. Everybody's like, oh, she got Norted. And like then Norting is just like a joke for in the Kingdom Hearts community. So I was like, you got Norted.
You got corrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So done with book 2. How are we feeling about this book?
I thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
The only part that was slow is the part that was intentionally slow, because it was slow and agonizing to the characters. And I'm talking about the beach. The beach is the book. The Beach with Detta.
Page 1 to page 4.
Yeah. It was everything except for that was.
You started hunting the deer. It really picked up.
Yeah. The Beach with Detta. But It was fantastic, and I'm excited to, get to the rest of it. I really want to read like the. I know it's not technically a prequel, but it takes place in Roland's world and takes place before the whole events of the series. Like the Eyes of the Dragon or something like that.
Okay.
I want to read that at some point. Like,
it's really good.
Yeah.
It's told like a kid's.
I've heard that. Yeah.
And it has Randall Flag in it.
Oh shit.
And the two guys that they saw in here.
Oh shit.
That's who Rowan meets. Is
okay.
the main characters from that book.
Okay.
So, yeah, I didn't want to That's not what the spoiler was I found this time, but it's like it's a cool connection, That.
Okay. Yeah.
There they are. That's crazy. So it does happen in Midworld.
Yeah.
Like outside of Gilead, they're royalty too. The two, Tommen and like something else.
Yeah.
The characters in Eyes of the Dragon.
Thomas and Dennis, right?
I think Dennis is one of the friends.
Oh, okay.
There's like two brothers, and one gets the throne, but the other one's jealous, and like it's a whole thing. It's a cool medieval story.
Yeah.
It's politics, it's family betrayal, it's wizards and flag.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, but I've heard people say like, oh, it's kind of like a prequel to the whole series, but also it's not really related to it. So
it is Rogue One.
Okay.
It connects, but it really don't have shit to do with it.
Yeah.
Like obviously, the end part of Rogue One has a lot to do with it, but
yeah,
there's more Solo. There's a character. How about that?
There we go. Okay.
Solo, a Star Wars story. Where it's like, okay, there's a character here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of like, okay, yeah, I get that. I get what parsecs are.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's I enjoyed it. It was a fun read. It's a good book, and it's also one like, if I had a kid, I was like, saw my book collection, like, oh, I want to read Stephen King. I'm like, let's start you off with Eyes of the Dragon. It is King.
Yeah.
Just start you here. There's nothing really too crazy about it. It's a good story of like, since it's told like for a kid, and like, it's kiddie. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no demonic spider clowns.
Yeah. I read somewhere that he like kind of wrote it for his daughter or something.
Yeah. I believe that's because she wanted to read something and she was too young. It's like, I'll whip this up for you. I got these. I think it was around the time he wrote this or another show. So he was like, oh fuck it, we'll throw it in.
Yeah. Huh?
In Midworld.
You want to read one of my books? I will write one for you.
Yeah. What a power to have.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah. Just create and then have it enjoyed.
Yeah.
Do you have any? I know you like predictions. Do you have any thoughts about where book 3 is gonna go? We're gonna get to the Dark Tower in book 3. Here, look at the cover. See what?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool looking. I like that.
So he's looking at a picture of a train. Basically,
yeah, that's
right?
a train with a skull on the front of it.
Yeah, the evil looking
glowing
train.
red eyes.
So it's like maybe Back to the Future 3 vibes.
There we go. No, so, honestly, I want them to get to the Dark Tower soon, but also at the same time, I kind of don't expect them to do it until the Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Which would be wild, but would make sense too.
Yeah.
I feel like they've got to get to it before then, because
also like it's really good that each story, it might be a link in the chain to the Dark Tower, but they all have their own full story arc resolution.
Yeah.
Everything happens, like it's not like it's. I don't know if I haven't actually watched Lord of the Rings like as an adult. I know like one of the movies, one of the big bitches is that they're just walking for most of the movie. I think it's Twin Towers. And people bitch like that Frodo and them, that their party isn't doing much that movie.
Yeah.
They're just traversing Mordor. They're just walking.
Right. Like, have you ever seen Clerks 2?
No.
Oh man, that's a fun movie. But in it, there's, they're working at like a burger restaurant, and this guy, one of the guys is kind of a nerd, and he makes an onion ring. And he holds it up. He's like, oh, it's the one ring, or the one onion ring, and
one onion ring to rule them all.
Yeah, and they have a customer come in. Like the two of them kind of geek out about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And the main character, Randall, he just goes on this rant about how like there's only like that's not the trilogy. The trilogy is Star Wars. There's only one return of, and it's not of the King. It's of the Jedi. and like he just goes on a rant, and part of it is like him just walking back and forth in a line. He's like, "Oh, look at me, I'm Lord of the Rings."
I want to take the time to read. I want to read Lord of the Rings. I know they got a new series coming out, but I want to try to experience it in a way where I can really not have any other influence besides. It's very strange to me. Okay, I watched Joe, my roommate, watched the what's the last one called? The last Lord of the Rings.
The last of the 3 movies.
Yes.
Return of the King.
Return of the King, where like after Frodo throws the shit in the fucking Mount Doom or what the fuck it's called, right?
Yeah.
And then they come back and like all of the hobbits are jumping on a bed and like playing together. That's so fucking weird to me. I cannot get out like how cringe that is. It's like this is so. I don't.
Yeah.
Yucky. I get that's like what like their racist thing is, like they're happy and jolly and they have 15 breakfasts or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to watch that. I think I could read that and maybe make more sense in my mind.
Yeah.
You know?
It's been honestly so long that I don't specifically remember.
The scene after he like because him and Samwell are sitting on a rock, right, and like, all this lava's going down, and then like a big old fucking bird comes and grabs him.
Yeah.
And they end up back at the Shire, and Gandalf walks in, and it's like this weird like Hallmark movie glow where like everything is like fuzzy on the edges, and like Frodo wakes up and he just starts laughing.
Yeah.
Like automatically, then like Samwell and like two of these other like twin looking guys come in, they start like jumping on the bed and like laughing and hugging.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that rubbed me so wrong.
Yeah, okay, I'm remembering that now.
Like, oh, that's so weird looking.
Yeah.
So I need to read it without any other.
I need to attempt to read it again. I tried to read it a long time ago, and I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
Because Tolkien, he crafted a fantastic world.
And
Leaf
he
by
was doing
leaf.
it, yeah.
Leaf by leaf and flower by flower, and they will all be described to you in detail.
That's they say like it's one of the worst things that's ever happened to writing because everybody thinks they're Tolkien. They will go and describe the monetary system for an island of pirates that existed 4,000 years ago, but it has nothing to do with the story.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we learning about this? Shut up.
Yeah.
Your world building should not be.
Well, I'm just talking about like they are walking down a path and
you're talking
like
description wise.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I think I'm like world building wise. Okay.
No, like they'll like
flowers were wet with the last night's dew and it dripped off like a.
Yeah, like stuff like that, and so it's been a long time since I tried to read them. I got to this part in the first. Technically, I think they split like the collection I have is all 3 of them into one book.
How big is that fucking book?
It's pretty thick.
Yeah.
But they split each book into 2 separate books. So, like, kind of like how we have King being like book 1 is
Jake, and then book 2 is the pusher or whatever.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Lord of the Rings is like 6 books almost.
Okay.
And I was in the second book of the Fellowship of the Ring, and there's this part called the Council of Elrond, which people who love the series even are like, this is too much.
Yeah.
And I get why it's there. It's all the members of the Fellowship coming together and like describing in painstaking detail why the dwarves are there, why the elves are there, why the humans are there, and what's going on with them. But it goes on forever, and like it's just people sitting around in a meeting room talking. Like it is so long.
I hate to tell you this,
and it's where I dropped off.
I hate to tell you this because we're reading it right now. That happens in the sand.
Yeah.
Like once the good guys like kind of like group together, they call it ad hoc committees.
Okay.
And they're establishing a new government because the world fucking ended, right? And it is written as all dialogue as recorded through it. Like if you wanted to, you could imagine it was a tape recorder. Right?
Okay.
And oh my God, does it insist upon itself. It just doubles down and doubles down and doubles down on facts. I think he can hit a writing block. And like he has like a rule to himself, he has to write so many pages a day. I don't think it's good writing. It's just like whenever it's on an audiobook, I usually play it on 2 times speed.
Yeah.
Get through it. Like, okay, like this fucking sucks. It's around like 3 hours of their building this town up, and it's just politics. That's all it is. There's cool things. Like it's so the first third of that book is probably, like 600 pages, and it fucking flies by. The fucking pandemic hits, and all these things come crumbling down, and oh my God, there's this guy and this guy, and what's the army doing? Why are they covering it up? Oh my God, they kill people. It's like fucking nuts. And it slows down to this, and that's probably intentional because so many people died in the world that you had to slow down the action. But yeah, it towards that middle third, it slows down real bad.
Yeah, like you could just leave that out. You could time skip to after they had formed the town, and like as rules come up in the narrative, be like, introduce them or something. But
it's a cool insight to it.
Yeah,
and it's like I said, it's an ensemble piece. So like you like intimately know every character there, and it's really cool. Like see them all like join up. Oh my God,
yeah,
that's awesome. But then you're talking about like a guy that got drunk and crashed his car. Do we prosecute him or not? Do we establish law and order? Do we establish police officers that police officers lead the military? It's a cool life from a sociological standpoint. Like thinking about life. It might be kind of cool now with how the world has changed, moved on.
So, you know how you said like you have already got these like intimate knowings of all the characters, and it's cool that they're coming together to have this conversation. In the Fellowship, you up to that point only have had the hobbits and Gandalf, so these are all new characters, and the hobbits aren't really involved. They are attending the meeting, but they are just there.
I'm really bad at names in novels. Like who?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Like I'm better whenever I'm reading, but whenever it's an audiobook and like they're not doing that different of a voice, like who the fuck is saying this? Like what's going on? So if it's jumping back and forth and a whole bunch of new characters introduced that really don't matter, or it's new characters that bringing in new information, it's like oh my God, and this overload.
I can't remember the exact number now, but Wheel of Time is notorious. People make a bigger deal about it than it is, but it has hundreds of named characters across the series, like maybe over 1,000 named characters,
dude.
And
we might hit. We'll probably hit hundreds in here.
Yeah.
In this, just named characters. I'm thinking like with cops, we'll probably hit 1,000.
Yeah.
Named characters.
But people are like, oh, how can you, how can you keep everything straight when there's that many characters? And I was like, yeah, but like half of them, like you don't have to remember their names after the scene. Like
you could just remember their names if you reread it again. Like, oh, I remember you.
Yeah.
I remember what you're gonna do. I remember what you did. That's the way you remember things. But.
And like important named characters, maybe about like 50, 60.
That's not terrible. Over a series?
Yeah, over 14 books that are all like almost all like 700 pages or more at the shortest.
Yeah.
Like
that's not bad at all.
Yeah. And people like to tote that as part of how the Wheel of Time is so complicated because there's it's not. Like you can brush past not knowing most of them. Most of them didn't stick to me, and I understood it just fine.
A big thing with like having named characters like that, a lot of times they're just archetypes.
Yeah.
For a character type that you should be able to recognize, and you're gonna understand their wants and needs and their methods of getting that. So if you can understand the archetype, you don't remember.
Right.
You remember the name. There was 4 cops. You remember the second set of cops? What their names were?
Nope.
I remember one was a good shot, and one that got kicked in the fucking chest.
Yep.
The other 2 were fat and out of shape, O'Malley or something,
Yeah, O'Meara and Delavan, I think.
Yeah, where it doesn't matter, but they're archetypes. Yeah. That's what they had to fill. Was that role?
Yeah. And that's how it is there, too.
Yeah. Well, I think we've gotten off the beaten path pretty well this episode.
Pretty tangenty.
This might be our longest one, and we probably read the least.
Yeah.
The least amount of pages.
Oh, God, yeah, probably.
But,
whoops.
We talked about a lot of things, though.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I had a good time, but if you had a good time,
hit that like button.
And subscribe. Turn on notifications.
Join our Discord.
Join the Discord. I posted something today in there. Sounds big for me. It's a big word for Elmo. All right.
I'm working on ideas to kind of make it more organized and stuff, and try to make it more active. I just keep getting distracted with school and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like with Discord, it's like I'm proficient at Word, and you're handing me an Excel spreadsheet. Like, okay, I understand how computers work.
Right.
But what the fuck is going on here?
And it's like I get pretty well how most of Discord works. I'm just bad at using it actively.
Yeah, we're busy. We're grown ass people with both in school, both have jobs. Cut us some slack. We cut out like 3 hours a week to come over here and do this. We're just really lucky that this video is very easy to edit, so I can put it out. I'm gonna have to make 2 cuts this time. It's gonna be real tough. It'll probably take an hour to process, an hour to upload. It'll take me 5 minutes to edit. So
hell yeah, there you go.
The process isn't too bad. Yeah, if y'all stuck around, go ahead and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Rate us 5 stars if you're on Apple Podcasts. I'm putting out I found out that I could put out polls on my Spotify. So let me know if that works. I don't know where
you put polls on Spotify.
Yeah, through the app that I have, it allows me to put a poll in there, and I think I put one on the first one. Like, is this your first time reading the Dark Tower series?
Oh, cool. I'll have to look it up.
Yes or no. I don't remember if it worked or not, or how I can look at this information.
Yeah.
It was a cool thing that was offered to me. Like, yeah, I'll fucking try that. Like,
cool, yeah. And speaking of Spotify, you can rate us on there now too.
Oh yeah, they did add that, didn't they? You can rate us 5 stars on everything.
Yeah. It helps us grow a lot. Like they really keep that into consideration, especially for small podcasts.
Yeah, recommendations are big because I don't know how you found us, but if you did, good job. So you can't assume like I found the Dark Tower Palaver. I just was bored and I was typing in Dark Tower on Apple Podcasts one day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the fuck does Palaver mean? At first I thought it was a Spanish word. So I didn't listen to it. Oh, it's just Dark Tower, but in Spanish. And they're going to talk about different shit. And I found out what Palaver meant to talk.
Yeah.
It said in the fucking book.
Oh,
that's what that word is. They're just fucking talking. What a great name for a podcast. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Still working on getting them on. Look forward to that in the next couple episodes.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're starting on the Wastelands. We're 2 books in. This is our biggest one so far. They're going to grow. Yeah. Wizard and Glass is probably the biggest one. Then we shrink down a little bit. But thank y'all for stopping by and dealing with us in our tangents this week. We had a good time.
Yeah.
So, that's it, really. And get out. Like, you don't got to go home. You can't stay here.
Closing time.
Catch y'all next week.
Bye.
Oh, my goodness. How long did we go?
2:32. Yeah.